the supreme dragon of the era of Tamers. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 101 Death Race. More haste, less speed. Maybe I should change my mindset, Chen Wei murmured in a low voice. Buzz buzz buzz, the vibration of the mobile phone on the table interrupted Chen Wei's meditation. President Meng, looking at the information displayed on the screen, Chen Wei's face was a little more surprised. It's already 10 o'clock in the evening, and there is still something to ask me. Is there any new progress in the secret realm? Thinking of this, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with doubt, and then he answered the phone. The ruins in the secret realm of Nanbin Mountain have been confirmed, and they have little to do with the real dragon, Meng Bowen said bluntly. Hearing this, Chen Wei smiled awkwardly and said nothing. The results of the Beast Taming Association's survey this time were similar to what he expected. There was indeed a real dragon in the secret realm of Nanbin Mountain, but it was probably dead. Otherwise, where did the Dragon Ball on Bailuo come from? But the information you provided is very valuable. The association has also found some jade dragon scales buried underground through the search during this period of time, President Meng said with a smile. So this time, in addition to rewarding you with 100 contribution points, the association also intends to recommend you to participate in the beast control competition held in Hanyang Province, he said in a serious tone. Wait, is it the annual beast control competition in Hanyang Province? Chen Wei frowned and couldn't help but interrupt. He happily accepted the 100 contribution points. As for the competition, whoever wants to go can go. Chen Wei has heard of this beast control competition at school. Every year, Hanyang Province will hold it at this time. A year ago, a student from Shushan No. 2 Middle School unfortunately died because of this competition. Therefore, this competition is also called the Death Competition by the students of Shushan No. 2 Middle School. This beast control competition is much more dangerous than the beast control college entrance examination. At least there has been no death of candidates in the beast control college entrance examination since it was held. And students who participate in this competition must sign a safety responsibility commitment letter. Chen Wei doesn't want to participate in such a dangerous thing. He just wants to grow steadily now. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't you want to participate in the beast control competition? President Meng's tone was a little puzzled. This beast control competition is only open to all subordinate cities in Hanyang Province, and a total of 100 new beast masters will participate. Even the Shushan City Beast Control Association has only received 3 recommended places. My cultivation is at a critical period recently, so why don't I give this precious opportunity to other beast masters? Chen Wei declined. Are you kidding? You regard the place in the death competition as a reward. I don't believe you. Don't worry, this competition will not start until half a month later, President Meng continued to persuade. Other new beast masters in Shushan City are not as strong as Chen Wei. Chen Wei decisively refused. Sorry, I really don't have time to participate. President Meng was silent. He didn't expect Chen Wei to refuse. The ranking of this beast control competition is very important. For Meng Bowen, it is even more important than Chen Wei's participation in the beast control college entrance examination. As long as the participating students are strong enough, the higher the ranking of the city in this competition, the more beast control resources it can obtain next year. The beast control college entrance examination is different. The scope of this assessment is extremely wide. Unless Shushan City can produce a few more new beast masters who can be admitted to the top 5 universities in Donghu this year, it will be difficult for him to get support from the higher-ups. There is no way. Compared with other cities, Shushan City is too poor and too remote. In particular, the students recommended by the association in recent years have not been able to achieve good results in the competition, so that the Beastmaster resources distributed by the Hanyang Provincial Beastmaster Association have gradually decreased. This year, Shushan City finally produced Chen Wei, a monster, and he did not want to miss this rare opportunity. I have used the dragon scales in the secret realm to create a set of extremely tough dragon scale soft armor. As long as you participate in this competition, this soft armor will be given to you, President Meng said with pain. President Meng, can you tell me more about this competition? Chen Wei asked. If the danger of this competition is not high, it would be fine for him to participate. If the mortality rate is too high, then I'm sorry. He uses this kind of close-fitting soft armor to save his life. With his current potential, he is not willing to risk his life for a set of precious armor. He can still distinguish such obvious things. With your strength, you are enough to kill everyone in this competition, President Meng said word by word, obviously very confident in Chen Wei. But I heard that this competition is called the death competition, and you have to sign a death responsibility letter before participating. Chen Wei's heart moved slightly, and his tone was a little confused. Who told you about this death competition? President Meng said angrily. The full name of the Beast Control Competition is the Hanyang Province City-wide Joint Beast Control Competition. The best new Beast Control Masters in each city are selected to enter the secret realm to compete for rankings, thereby showing the strength of the new generation in each city. This Beast Control Competition has been held for decades, and there was only one death a year ago, and it was the contestants' own fault. Where did you hear the name of this death competition? President Meng was a little depressed. Damn it. Because of this damn rumor, he even put on a piece of dragon-scale soft armor. I heard about it when I was in school. Chen Wei couldn't help but cough lightly. Rumors are killing people. He really thought it was a dragon's den before. Hearing this, President Meng reacted immediately, and his face became a little strange. No wonder. Chen Wei is a new beast master in Shushan No. 2 Middle School, and he is also the junior of that man. The way the examinee died last year was too unique, and President Meng is still impressed. In order to preserve the dignity of the deceased, he even blocked the news and only told the cause of death to his family. President Meng sighed secretly. I didn't expect the news to spread like this in the end. It's really scary to say something, if that's the case. Why do the contestants have to sign a death responsibility letter? Chen Wei then expressed his doubts. President Meng explained, in the secret realm, there will be a professional security team responsible for monitoring and safety. As long as you stay vigilant, there will basically be no problems. As for the death responsibility letter you signed, it is just to prevent some beast masters who deliberately seek death. By the way, have you heard of Dragon Master Leng Yangayan? President Meng suddenly changed the subject. I've heard of it, Chen Wei nodded. Dragon Tamer Leng Yangayan, an epic dragon tamer, a great general who defended the lonely city for several days with his own strength during the period of hegemony among the various countries and resisted the millions of troops for the country. As a native of Shushan City, Chen Wei could easily name several idioms related to Leng Yangayan without even thinking. President Meng immediately threw out his trump card. As long as you can rank in the top 3 in this beast taming competition, you will be eligible to enter the Leng Yangayan heritage site. This sudden news made Chen Wei slightly stunned. When did it happen? The Hanyang Province Beast Taming Association has actually discovered the heritage site of Leng Yangayan. Chapter 102 Extraordinary Power. This level of heritage ruins is actually open to new beast masters. It seems that it is still a secret realm with level restrictions, Chen Wei thought to himself. A blessing in disguise. Even if Chen Wei can get the qualification to enter the heritage ruins, it may not be a good thing. After all, this is the heritage secret realm of the epic dragon master Leng Yunayang. The hidden dangers in it are much more dangerous than some heavenly secret realms. For you, there will be no danger in this beast control competition. President Meng coughed lightly and continued to add, although the secret realm that the contestants have to enter is decided by the president of the Provincial Beast Control Association, according to past examples, the heavenly secret realm below the 3rd level is generally selected as the competition venue. With the strength shown in the Kaling assessment, you can retreat even if you face a 3rd level extraordinary beast, not to mention that there may not be a 3rd level extraordinary pet in this competition secret realm. President Meng's words dispelled Chen Wei's concerns. In this case, I want to give it a try, Chen Wei said with a firm tone after pondering. He likes this kind of bullying without any danger. Not to mention that President Meng also gave him a set of dragon-scale soft armor. Okay, President Meng's happy voice came from the phone, then I'll help you register. The ranking of Shushan City this time is up to you. Remember to report to the 1st floor of the Beast Control building before 8 a.m. on the 15th. I will take you to Yangling City then, President Meng reminded him at last. By the way, do I know the other 2 teammates participating in the competition? Chen Wei asked subconsciously. This has not been determined yet. The association plans to select the remaining 2 places through the competition. If you are interested, you can come and watch. No need for that. My recent practice is at a critical juncture. Compared with this kind of chicken pecking competition, Chen Wei prefers to practice at home. After the conversation with President Meng, Chen Wei took out his mobile phone and fell into deep thought when he looked at the balance of star coins on it. If the 100 contribution points awarded by the association today are not counted, he only has more than 1 million star coins left. After more than 2 months of closed-door cultivation, his source star cultivation has made good progress, but the 3 pets he contracted are a bit expensive. He has already consumed most of the 5 million star coins that President Meng had awarded him. During this period, Chen Wei spent 1.25 million yuan just to pay off K Ling's pet loan. In addition, Bai Luo consumes the 4th level resource Changqing Lingru every day, and each portion costs 1 million star coins. After 2 months of consumption, the 2 portions of Changqing Lingru he prepared were almost drunk by Bai Luo. In addition to some high-quality resources prepared for K Ling and Yutong, these bits and pieces add up to more than 1 million yuan in expenses. The difference between the cost of training 1 pet and 3 pets is really big. These few months have really cost a lot of money. Chen Wei couldn't help but sigh, and then looked at the star ring on his finger. There are so many high-level spiritual plants in the star ring, and they will definitely sell for a good price. But there is no rush now. The beast control resources I prepared before can still last until the middle of the month. Otherwise, I should continue to practice in closed-door cultivation, Chen Wei thought to himself. After all, normally, it would take at least 3 years for a beast master with good talent to cultivate the 2nd level source star to the 3rd level. With the help of Bai Luo's spiritual fluid, his source star cultivation speed increased greatly, directly turning the impossible into possible. In a short period of time, he reached the limit of the 2nd level. In this case, Chen Wei was unwilling to continue to retreat and try to break through. Just like that, another 2 days passed. At this time, the majestic source power poured on Chen Wei like a funnel. He sat cross-legged on the bed with his eyes closed, trying to break through. Puff! Chen Wei's body trembled violently, and then a mouthful of blood spurted out. 80% of the probability has failed. Chen Wei's eyes were filled with unwillingness, and his face turned pale in an instant. The next second, the door of the room suddenly opened, and the 3 pets rushed to Chen Wei. "Are you okay?" K Ling groaned softly, her eyes full of worry. "Chirp, just drink this cup and you'll be fine." "Meow, it's okay, just a mouthful of blood." Looking at the 3 pets in front of him, Chen Wei smiled with relief and took Bai Luo's stream water. "This injury is not even a minor injury. I was too eager to succeed." The 80% confidence he felt when practicing was still too low. After this lesson, if he didn't have 99% confidence in breaking through in the future, he would never force a breakthrough. "Chirp, don't worry." Bai Luo stepped forward and touched Chen Wei's forehead, as if he was checking the body of his own beast master, and then gently warned him. "Damn, it seems that I must learn some healing skills in the future and roll them to death." Seeing this, K Ling's eyes flashed with envy. "Chirp, don't practice today, go to bed early." Bai Luo helped Chen Wei to the bed, and then carefully covered him with a quilt. Looking at Bai Luo, who looked like an adult with a serious expression, Chen Wei, who was clearly arranged, couldn't help but twitch his mouth. "Why do I suddenly feel that the relationship between me and Bai Luo has reversed?" However, not long after lying on the bed, a drowsiness spreading from the depths of the soul suddenly attacked Chen Wei. He finally couldn't resist it and fell asleep soon. Obviously, the backlash caused by this forced breakthrough was not as mild as Chen Wei said. Looking at the Beastmaster who fell into deep sleep, the 3 pets looked at each other and then laid down beside Chen Wei carefully to sleep. The only strange thing was that the tiles on the floor were still clean and tidy. At some point, the blood that Chen Wei spit out disappeared quietly. The next morning, after Chen Wei woke up, he felt that his head was a little dizzy. He got up and saw that Bai Luo and Yutong were sleeping on both sides of him, and K Ling's figure disappeared. Did K Ling start training so early? Chen Wei sighed in a low voice. Feeling his eyelids a little heavy, Chen Wei hurriedly shook his head, resisting the urge to sleep, and began to concentrate on sensing the situation of his source star. In the deep starry sky, the dark blue source star hangs high above, and the faint orange light slowly ripples out from the tip and corner of the source star. Fortunately, the source star is neither damaged nor downgraded, but the source power that was transformed with great effort before has been reduced a lot. Chen Wei sighed helplessly when he noticed that the orange light contained in his source star had changed from a strand to a thread, and his face showed an undisguised disappointment. This failure to break through directly wasted half a month of his hard work. Overall, it's not a loss, but I don't seem to be suitable for meditation recently. Maybe I should change direction and try to practice the red cloud flame array diagram. Chen Wei couldn't help but smile bitterly. The difficulty of practicing the red cloud flame array diagram is not low. Until now, he has not entered this high-level secret method. The practice process of this secret method is extremely cumbersome, requiring Chen Wei to use his mental power to outline a large number of red cloud rune arrays on the extremely solid source star. If Chen Wei can successfully draw a red cloud array, it will be the entry level. In this way, he can put the mark of the array on Yutong's body, so as to obtain part of the power of his pet's life source fire. If Chen Wei can draw 9 interlocking secret arrays, it will be the proficient level. This can not only greatly improve the practitioner's mental power, but also can be in harmony with a pet attached with a red cloud array. It can even improve the bond between the two parties in the process of refining medicine. In time, the so-called bond coordination battle is nothing more than a thing in the bag of the red cloud map practitioner. And if you want to truly show the power of this red cloud flame array, you must first master this secret method to the proficient level, and outline a red cloud array with 99 and 81 connected at the end on your own source star. You must know that the more the red cloud array is later, the more complicated it is. According to the inheritance records, the owner of the mastery level of the red cloud flame array can easily refine pills below the 6th level. Thinking of this, Chen Wei couldn't help but take a deep breath, and then his expression gradually became serious. Let's set a small goal first, to see if we can complete the introduction of the red cloud flame formation before the beast taming competition. Time flies. In the following time, in addition to daily strengthening, Chen Wei's mind is completely immersed in the practice of the red cloud flame formation. Finally got started, 12 days passed in the blink of an eye. Chen Wei slowly opened his eyes, feeling the glittering red array on the source star. He couldn't help but clench his fists, and a trace of joy flashed in his dark eyes. Yutong, come here. He stood up suddenly, and then shouted loudly. Me, what's wrong? Yutong walked into the room in confusion, looking at Chen Wei with curiosity. Behind it, there was Kai Ling with a suspicious expression and Bai Luo who was in high spirits. You continue to train. The red cloud flame formation is only suitable for pets with fire attributes, Chen Wei said with a smile. Tisk, Kai Ling uttered a disdainful low hum, and disappeared instantly. Bai Luo was sitting aside curiously, his green eyes unblinking. Yutong, stretch your head over here, Chen Wei said softly. Even for pets that have not signed a beast control contract, the red cloud flame array diagram can still be used. Hearing this, Yutong curiously lay down in front of Chen Wei. Looking at the naive titanium crystal puppet in front of him, Chen Wei couldn't help but smile. Yutong is now covered with fur and doesn't even look like she has a neck. It is indeed a bit difficult to let her stretch her head out. Chen Wei communicated with a red talisman array on the source star, and stroked Yutong's head with his right hand. The red halo kept flickering on his hand. The next second, a faint red talisman array began to appear on Yutong's forehead. Its red eyes actually flowed with tens of thousands of weak lights along with a red cloud array diagram on its head. Half of these lights flowed to Chen Wei, and half flowed to its forehead. After a few seconds, the talisman array on Yutong's forehead began to disappear. At the same time, Chen Wei only felt a scorching energy gushing out from his source star. Is this Yutong's life source fire? Looking at the warm dark red flame in his hand, Chen Wei was slightly startled, and then a touch of ecstasy surged on his face. Meow, Greek letter sigma, so familiar. Yutong's eyes froze at the sight, and a light red flame spit out from her mouth. Be careful, don't burn my room. Chen Wei immediately lifted Yutong's neck. Meow, Greek letter sigma. My flame. Yutong's eyes were still fixed on Chen Wei, with disbelief on her face. Although the temperature of the flame in Chen Wei's hand was much lower than its life source fire, the breath it felt was the same. As your beast master, isn't your fire my fire? Chen Wei couldn't help but poke the fluff on Yutong's head with his fingers. Look at this little guy, how scared he is. It's just taking a little of your flame, which will not cause any adverse effects on your life source fire. Wait, with this ability, can't I fry a fried egg on my palm? Chen Wei suddenly had an idea and subconsciously rushed to the kitchen. Crack, this is the sound of an egg breaking. The next second, looking at the egg that turned into charcoal on his palm, Chen Wei scratched his head. The firepower of this source fire is a bit fierce. It seems that I can't use it to cook before I can control the temperature proficiently, Chen Wei said with some regret. If he could get this extraordinary power earlier, he wouldn't have to eat canned food in the secret realm of Nanbin Mountain. Thinking of this, Chen Wei inadvertently glanced at the time on his mobile phone and reacted immediately. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I almost forgot to prepare the materials for the Beast Control competition in advance. Shushan City Beast Control Resource Trading Market. Because he had been in seclusion for too long, Chen Wei planned to go out for a breath of fresh air, so he didn't buy Beast Control resources on his mobile phone. What's more, he also planned to sell some spiritual plants to obtain star coins. As soon as Chen Wei entered the market, he found that the market was already crowded with people. At this time, he shuttled through the crowd, as if he was in a whirlpool of joy. From time to time, the sound of Beastmasters bargaining could be heard beside him, and the street was bustling. This primary star ring from more than 10 years ago is priced at 470,000 star coins. Damn, who would buy this star ring? It's better to add 30,000 star coins to buy a brand new one on the Beastmaster Mall app. And there's more space, Chen Wei couldn't help but complain in his heart. The street vendors in this market were too shady. Fortunately, he didn't plan to buy anything at the street vendors. Yixin Tang. 10 minutes later, Chen Wei stopped at the door of an ancient shop. This was a relatively reliable medicine hall he found online. This shop not only sells elixirs and spiritual medicines, but also purchases some rare spiritual medicines. After confirming that the name was correct, he walked in directly. The shelves on both sides of the shop were filled with a large number of spiritual plants and elixirs, of which there were many kinds, and there were even many precious elixirs that Chen Wei had never seen or heard of. "Hello, what can I do for you?" the medicine shop clerk came forward and asked. "I want to sell some high-level spiritual plants. Do you accept them? Our store only buys spiritual herbs above level 3. We don't accept spiritual plants below level 3 for the time being." The medicine shop clerk looked at Chen Wei carefully, and his face showed some difficulty. The customer in front of him was so young, most likely a new Beastmaster this year. How could he have spiritual herbs above level 3? Chapter 103 The competition begins. I have a few ice spirit mysterious grass and dragon tongue grass. Will you buy them? Chen Wei said calmly. Selling a large number of spiritual plants at once would easily attract attention, so he only planned to sell a small amount of third-level spiritual medicines this time. Ice spirit mysterious grass and dragon tongue grass. The medicine hall clerk looked a little surprised and looked at Chen Wei with half-belief. These spiritual herbs are all relatively rare medicinal materials among the third-level spiritual plants, especially the ice spirit mysterious grass, whose price can be compared with that of the fourth-level spiritual plants. Of course, but we only buy mature spiritual plants. Can you take them out and let me see their appearance? If the young man in front of him did not use proper picking and preservation methods, resulting in low quality of spiritual medicines, although they would still buy them, the price would be extremely low. Chen Wei took out 2 jade boxes from the star ring. Because the size of the ice spirit mysterious grass was small, he kept 3 plants in 1 jade box. And the dragon tongue grass was lush and leafy, so only 2 plants could be placed in the other box. The medicine hall clerk took the jade box and looked at the spiritual medicine in good condition in front of him, and a hint of joy flashed in the clerk's eyes. The market price of dragon tongue grass is about 900,000, but the purchase price is generally 810,000. The market price of ice spirit grass is 1.2 million. Because of the shortage of supply, we are willing to purchase it at a premium of 200,000 star coins. Are you satisfied with this price? After confirming that there was no problem with this spiritual plant, the medicine hall clerk said with a smile on his face. These add up to a total of 5.82 million star coins, which can last for more than 2 months. Chen Wei instantly calculated the specific price in his mind, and a trace of satisfaction flashed in his eyes. If you are not satisfied, this price can be negotiated again. How about 6 million? Seeing that Chen Wei seemed to be a little hesitant, the medicine hall clerk said decisively. Okay, 6 million. How much is that bottle of level 4 healing potion? Chen Wei glanced at a bottle of healing potion and couldn't help but feel moved. Level 4 healing potion. As long as there is still a breath, the body's injuries can be quickly restored. Even if it is a serious injury such as a broken arm, as long as the arm is reattached in time, it can be restored to its original state within a day. Both Beastmasters and pets can use it. We are leaving for the competition tomorrow, so we have to buy some life-saving medicines in case of emergency. The pharmacy clerk followed Chen Wei's gaze and looked at a bottle of energy potion on the shelf, and then said with a smile, 1 bottle costs 1 million star coins. Then give me 2 bottles. An hour later, Chen Wei walked out of the trading market with satisfaction. As a great contributor, Bai Luo should be tired of drinking Changqing Lingru for more than 2 months, so Chen Wei bought it a better 4th level resource, Lingyun Jade Liquid. Lingyun Jade Liquid, a wood attribute resource, the essence jade liquid bred inside the Lingyun Lingmu, which can increase the vitality of plant-type pets. As for K Ling, Chen Wei prepared a 3rd level ice resource, Cyanhen Marrow Crystal. In daily consumption, Cyanhen Marrow Crystal can slightly increase the frost reserve of ice-type pets. As for the last cute pet Yutong, Chen Wei bought it a 3rd level resource, Red Flame Crystal, of the Fire Plus Crystal system. The Red Flame Crystal is one of the necessary materials for the Titanium Crystal Doll to evolve into the Fire Crystal Doll. This resource can not only help Yutong lay the foundation for future evolution, but also increase the power of its life source fire. In general, Chen Wei had a lot of fun on this shopping trip, but his wallet was also empty. The next morning, Chen Wei, who was well prepared, went directly to the Shushan City Beast Taming Association. Chen Wei just arrived on the 1st floor of the beast taming building and heard someone calling him. He looked at the sound and saw the gentle boy wearing gold-rimmed glasses at a glance. Good morning, Chen Wei walked over and greeted him. It's you. I knew you wouldn't be absent from this competition. Meng Haoj adjusted his glasses and said confidently. I feel relieved with you here, and it just so happens that your ordinary friends are here this time. When talking about the 4 words ordinary friends, Meng Haoj also specially emphasized them, with a mischievous smile on his face. Chen Wei was speechless for a while. It is hard for ordinary people to imagine that a handsome and elegant boy is such a sullen person behind the scenes. But fortunately, at least the teammates participating in the beast taming competition this time are familiar faces. Ordinary friends, are you talking about me? A crisp female voice suddenly sounded. Looking at Yu Zilman who suddenly appeared in front of him, Meng Haoj couldn't help but freeze his expression. Why is it always like this? The moment you mention the devil will appear. Are we ordinary friends? Yu Zilman smiled and looked at Chen Wei. Not really. Chen Wei looked at the star ring on his finger and subconsciously said, we are good friends. Yu Zilman immediately looked at Meng Haoj with a smile. This will not happen again. Sorry. Meng Haoj straightened up quickly. After knowing each other for so many years, Meng Haoj knows Yu Zilman's personality very well. He doesn't want to know what it's like to be in Shudao Mountain. At this time, President Meng came over. It seems that you are all in good shape today. Time is a bit tight. Come with me first. We will arrive in Yangling City at noon today. You can ask me any questions in the car. Chen Wei and the other 3 immediately followed President Meng into the car. President Meng, is this competition conducted in a team manner? Sitting in the car, Chen Wei couldn't help asking. Compared with forming a team, he still prefers to act alone. No, the latest competition rules have been released, and it is a single-person assessment mode. Last year, Yangling City discovered a low-level secret realm of the wilderness level in Shuangjin, which is said to contain a large number of level 4 beast control resources and rare beasts. This beast control competition will be held in the Shuangjin secret realm, and a random delivery method will be used. Chen Wei was slightly startled. How could the previously agreed upon level 3 secret realm become a wilderness level Shuangjin secret realm? The difficulty between the two is not at the same level. There are a large number of level 4 top elite beasts in the wilderness level lower secret realm. If the beast master who enters is a little less lucky, he may even encounter a beast led by a level 5 transcendent commander. Seeing Chen Wei's face becoming serious, President Meng smiled and said, don't worry, there are only 5 4th level elite beasts in the Shuangjin secret realm, and they only move within a specific range. Is there really a 4th level beast in Shuangjin? Chen Wei couldn't help but exclaimed. This is just a new Beastmaster competition in Hanyang province. Is it so difficult? Although he is very confident in K Ling's strength, he is not willing to let K Ling jump 2 levels to fight. Moreover, not to mention the 4th level beasts, even if it is a 2nd level special level beast, his teammates Meng Haoj and Yu Zilman may not be able to beat it. What's the difference between this and delivering food? Seeing Chen Wei's eyes on him, Meng Haoj immediately raised his eyebrows and said in a natural tone, with our strength, we can only survive in the grassland area. The strength of the beasts there is about the 1st level, that's right. The Shuangjin secret realm is officially divided into 4 areas, namely the grassland area, the wild jungle, the lava mountain area and the top of the lava mountain. Every time you go deeper into an area, the strength of the beasts will increase by 1 level. The activity range of the 5 elite beasts is at the top of the lava mountain, President Meng nodded. The random teleportation location when entering the secret realm is in the grassland area. Participants can consciously go to the corresponding assessment area according to their own strength. The previous beast control competitions were all held in the 3rd level secret realm, but this one is an exception. Compared with previous years, the strength of the new beast masters in Hanyang province this year is particularly strong. Speaking of this, President Meng's tone was a little solemn. He didn't expect that this year's competition would be so fierce. The 3rd level secret realm is not enough to toss. Is the strength gap between the new beast masters so different? Chen Wei sighed in his heart. It seems that we can't form a team for this beast control competition. Yu Zilman looked at Chen Wei and said meaningfully. At the same time, President Meng, who was a little depressed, cast his eyes on Chen Wei. This year's competition is extremely difficult. Among the contestants, there are at least 5 new beast masters whose source star has reached the 3rd level, and Yangling City occupies 3 of them. Shushan City finally produced Chen Wei this year. In previous beast control competitions, Shushan City would at least be ranked in the top 3, if not the first. As a result, in order to enter the Epic Dragon Master Heritage Site, the beast control families in Hanyang province have spared no expense to cultivate new family talents this year. In this competition, let alone the top 3, Shushan City can rank among the top 5, and Meng Bowen feels that he has made a profit. In his opinion, Meng Haoj and Yu Zilman in this competition are just extras. Only a monster like Chen Wei and Shushan City can compete with the genius beast masters in Yangling City. 3rd level source star. Upon hearing this, Chen Wei and Yu Zilman's faces changed drastically. On the contrary, Meng Haoj looked calm, with a flat expression on his face. It was obvious that he had known this information for a long time. Why, are you scared by the 3rd level source star? President Meng's mouth twitched, and there was a taste of disappointment in his tone. Is it because of last year's inheritance relics? After a brief surprise, Yu Zilman thought thoughtfully. Chen Wei smiled slightly and did not explain much. He had a deep understanding of how difficult it was for a source star to break through from the 2nd level to the 3rd level during the 3 months of hard training at home. Yangling City is worthy of being the capital of Hanyang province. There are as many as 3 new beast masters of the 3rd level. Students of this level can already be recommended to the 5 major universities of Donghua in advance. I didn't expect to meet such an opponent in this competition. Chen Wei couldn't help but feel a little excited. Zhaoqing, send the detailed information of this beast competition to Chen Wei and Yu Zilman. After a moment of silence, President Meng said. Received. The figure of a mature woman instantly appeared on the display screen of the car. Is this a mechanical life or an artificial intelligence? Chen Wei looked at the glowing screen, his eyes suddenly fixed. Name of pet, Zhaoqing, attributes of pet, mechanical, gold, racial level, transcendent commander, strength level, 4th level, racial skills, intelligent learning, deformation armor, magnetic control, data deduction, potential of pet? Sure enough, I can't see the complete data just like by Luo. Chen Wei's eyes dimmed slightly. The higher the source star, the stronger the effect of the innate talent. It was just a glimpse. Chen Wei's identification talent activated by the 2nd level source star could hardly detect the detailed information of the 4th level alien beast. In addition, he didn't know much about the information of mechanical life, so the results of the identification were obviously incomplete, and there might even be errors. Buzz, the mobile phone screen lit up and a new message appeared. That was the rules and procedures of the competition. This beast control competition requires contestants to survive in the Shuangjian secret realm for 3 days. Asking for help from the security team or activating the Guangmingshi bracelet to leave during the process will be regarded as giving up the assessment. During the assessment period, contestants can obtain certain points through the magic cores on the beasts. The higher the level of the magic core, the more points they get. Not only the magic core, but also the beast resources collected by contestants in the secret realm can be converted into points. The higher the level of the resources, the more points they get. The whole process of the competition will be monitored, and the beast resources obtained by the contestants belong to themselves. If there is a situation of fighting for beast resources in the secret realm assessment, as long as there is no behavior of injury or death, the beast masters are allowed to compete in any way. The final ranking of the 33 cities in Hanyang province will be determined by the points of the contestants. and the Beastmasters with the top 3 personal points will be qualified to inherit the ruins of Wu'ayang Mountain. Chen Wei took a general look at the rules and procedures of the Beast competition, and finally his eyes stopped on the list of data notes. Yangling City, as the city ranked first in the last competition, was awarded an additional place for the competition, unlike the 3 places of other cities. No wonder this competition is not ranked according to team points, but the ranking is calculated by the highest single point system. This ranking method is very strange. Could it be that for the top leaders, a new Beastmaster who is extraordinary is enough to overwhelm a city? Chen Wei thought to himself. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, outside Shuangjian, the Beastmaster base, a floating car slowly stopped. Okay, we have arrived at the destination. Take a good rest today and remember to gather here before 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. President Meng got off the car and said. Chen Wei and the other 2 got off the car immediately. After some identity confirmation, they successfully checked into the Shuangjian Beastmaster base in front of them. At 7:50 in the morning of the next day, the Beastmaster competition is about to begin. At this time, Chen Wei and the other 2 were queuing in the square in front of the Shuangjian secret realm to receive the locator, the secret map and the Kongming stone bracelet. Under the guidance of the surrounding legion soldiers, Chen Wei and the others follow the flow of people to a difficult and obscure 5-pointed teleportation array. Please note that the Beastmaster competition will officially begin in 1 minute. A mechanical female voice suddenly sounded. Hearing this, Chen Wei looked at Meng Haojin and Yu Zilman beside him. They both had a look of nervousness that they could not hide. 3, 2, 1, the competition begins. As soon as the mechanical prompt sounded, the 5-pointed teleportation array on the ground instantly burst into dazzling purple light that enveloped hundreds of new Beastmasters. The next second, the figures of the contestants on the 5-pointed teleportation array disappeared one after another. Meng, are you confident in this competition? You won't be the 33rd again this time. In the competition hall, a middle-aged man with gray hair said to President Meng jokingly. In front of them, there were countless small screens under a huge screen. And on one of the small screens, Chen Wei's figure suddenly appeared. I feel grateful for the monthly votes cast by all readers. Chapter 104, The Eye-Catching Chen Wei. Meng Bowen looked at the middle-aged man beside him with a somewhat impatient tone. Guan Henry, is it interesting to talk about this? How about we have a competition? Guan Henry, the president of Guangming City Beast Tamer Association, a king-level Beastmaster, and Meng Bowen have a deep grudge. In the last Hanyang Province Beast Tamer competition, Guangming City ranked 21st, and the strength of the contestants was top-notch among the third-tier cities. Seeing that Meng Bowen was a little unhappy, Guan Henry laughed and said, forget the battle. I believe that in this competition, Shushan City should not have the weird contestants like the last one. After these sarcastic words came out, Meng Bowen couldn't help but stand up and look directly at Guan Henry. The atmosphere suddenly became solemn. Fortunately, Meng Bowen's seat was relatively remote in the hall, and there were only 5 extraordinary city association presidents near his seat. After hearing Guan Henry's words, their faces suddenly became very strange. Obviously, the contestants from Shushan City last year left a deep impression on them. After hesitating, they chose not to speak, but sat aside and watched the excitement quietly. Even the presidents of the associations who were chatting happily in the distance cast surprised glances from time to time. Why, do you still want to fight in the viewing hall? Guan Henry challenged with a smile. He was also desperate. What if the words were inappropriate and ignorant? Since the incident 12 years ago, there has been no affection between them. Here it comes again, here it comes again. I knew that these 2 guys can't get together. Tang Bailan, the president of Changji City, showed an interested smile at the corner of her mouth. Since you are so confident, do you want to continue to bet on the ranking of the competition this time? Meng Bowen suddenly said with a smile. Interesting, haven't you lost enough? Guan Henry sneered. What do you want to bet this time? Take this as the bet. Meng Bowen took out a golden source crystal emitting hot energy from the star ring. Dari Jinjing, level 6 fire beast resource, exclusive evolution resource of the brilliant king level Dari Jin Lion. After refining, it can greatly increase the flame power of fire-type pets. Guan Henry's pupils suddenly shrank. Could it be that Shushan City really has a powerful beast-controlling genius this year? He suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. Why, can't you come up with a bet of the same level? Meng Bowen glanced at Guan Henry, his tone full of disdain. It's just a level 6 resource. Guan Henry snorted lightly, a glimmer of light flashed in his palm, and a bright white round bead appeared instantly. It's impossible for him to show weakness in front of Meng Bowen, Cold Domain Star Essence, a level 6 Ice-type beast controlling resource, born between the essence of the Cold Domain, covered with frost. After refining, it can increase the probability of Ice-type transcendent pets advancing to the king level by 10%. As for the outcome, how about the one with the higher ranking wins in the end? Guan Henry's eyes flashed with a trace of undetectable arrogance. He has won Meng Bowen for 3 consecutive years. He believes that the result of this bet will still not change. Of course, Meng Bowen said. Sure enough, it's the same again this year. The presidents of the city associations on the side look normal. But they had no interest in participating in the bet. In previous years, it was okay. The bet was only level 5 beast control resources. Winning or losing was harmless. They just wanted to have fun. But the level 6 rare beast control resources are different. The value of any beast control resource in this bet is enough to make the king level beast control master feel distressed for a long time. It seems that the new generation of Shushan City and Guangming City have both produced good beast control talents this year. Seeing that the bet was so big this time, the city presidents who were watching the show on the side couldn't help but murmur in their hearts. Shuangjian's secret realm, grassland area. On the endless grassland, Chen Wei's figure suddenly appeared. Not bad. The secret realm transmission this time is very stable, without any sequelae. Chen Wei sighed. Swoosh, swoosh, a sound came from the lush grass in front. A giant centipede about 3 meters in size with a black and red light flashing on its surface suddenly appeared. It looked at Chen Wei twice, and it seemed that it didn't feel the threat. The hundreds of limbs under it moved slightly, and it disappeared in a short while. Name of pet, red armored millipede. Pet attribute, wood, gold. Racial level, high level extraordinary. Strength level, lower first order. Fortunately, it is a vegetarian red armored millipede, otherwise there would be a battle. Chen Wei breathed a sigh of relief as he watched the millipede disappear. The magic core score of the first order alien beast is not high, and coupled with its limited physical strength, it is best to avoid this meaningless battle. Hiss, a fishy smell suddenly came from behind. Chen Wei turned his head and saw a 7-meter-long, rough-skinned black-brown python flying towards him. The python's eyes were full of tyranny and greed. Name of pet, black mist rock python. Pet attribute, earth, poison. Racial level, medium. Special level, strength level, middle first order. Seeing this, Chen Wei smiled excitedly. He clenched his right fist, and a dark red flame instantly appeared on his fist. Then he punched the black mist rock python in midair with all his strength. Fire fist, he shouted the name of the move with great pride. The next second, bang, Chen Wei's powerful fist came into close contact with the head of the black mist rock python, and hot flames suddenly rose from the head of the rock python. The brain suffered a fatal blow, and the head of the rock python was instantly twisted and deformed. The huge body also hit the ground with this fierce impact, and a large piece of sand was raised for a while. At the same time, a smell of burnt meat emanated instantly. It seems that my strength is enough to match the first level middle level alien beast, but the damage of the flame is a little low. Looking at the rock python in front of him that had lost the power to resist, Chen Wei couldn't help but touch his chin. Wait, this beast taming competition is live. Will the voices of the contestants be recorded? Just now, I subconsciously called out the name of the move before I punched. Could it be recorded by the camera? Thinking of this, Chen Wei's expression froze, and he quickly glanced around, but he didn't find any hidden cameras around. At this moment, in the viewing hall, Meng Bowen looked at Chen Wei, who was looking around on the small screen, and couldn't help but twitching his mouth. Where is your dragon? I asked you to participate in the competition to kill everyone, not to play cosplay. You are playing a fire-type superpower. Tang Bailan, who had noticed Meng Bowen's side a long time ago, was also slightly stunned, and an incredible idea suddenly popped up. When did a superpower sneak into the Hanyuan province beast taming competition this time? This weird beast tamer can't be a contestant in the Shushan City beast taming competition, Guan Henry teased. When he found that the target of Meng Bowen's attention was a beast tamer who used fire, he couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Now is the era of the rise of beast masters, and there are only a few powerful superpowers. It seems that he will win this bet again. Meng Bowen did not say anything, but watched the game quietly. The facts will prove everything, and he was too lazy to argue with Guan Henry. At this time, Among the hundreds of display screens on the top of the viewing hall, many new Beastmasters have successfully hunted their first prey. Among them, the 4 contestants from Yangling City attracted the most attention. Their battle was neat and tidy, without any drag, showing their strong strength. In addition to paying attention to these popular players, the presidents of the city associations who were watching the game also cast their eyes on other screens, trying to find the dark horse hidden in this competition. Although there were many screens in front of them, the presidents of the city associations who were watching the game were all above the king level. Many city presidents discovered Chen Wei, the Beastmaster with strange behavior. This new Beastmaster is really outrageous. His physical fitness is almost catching up with the Master Beastmaster, an elegant female strongman set in admiration. Is it this young man? His physical strength is really good, comparable to when I was young, a sturdy association president with scars on his face said. It's actually the red cloud flame formation diagram. Wu Wei's, the head of the Yangling City Beast Taming Association, had his eyes light up slightly. Coming from Rosewood University, he immediately recognized Director Han's secret method of fame. There are very few talents that Director Han favors. This kid deserves special attention. He might be the dark horse of this beast taming competition. Wu Wei's was secretly sighing when he suddenly found that Chen Wei on the screen had summoned another dragon with a pure aura. Interesting, it seems that the champion of this competition is still suspenseful. He is worthy of being a student favored by Rosewood University. Wu Wei smiled slightly, his expression still calm. They are in Yangling City, and they are never afraid of challenges. How is it possible? It's actually a dragon. A new Beastmaster can contract with an existence of this level. Guan Henry saw the dragon summoned by Chen Wei. His face remained calm, but he was shocked in his heart. Dragon Knights. This year's new Beastmasters are really outrageous one by one. Tang Bailin, the president of Changji Market, couldn't help but exclaim with a tone of envy. How come there is no such outstanding Beastmaster rookie in their Changji Market? Fly directly to the wild jungle, riding on K Ling, Chen Wei ordered. With a domineering dragon roar, K Ling immediately flew high into the sky, and then quickly flew towards the wild jungle. As the dragon roared, many beasts on the grassland fled. The Beastmasters who were teleported to a position closer to Chen Wei couldn't help but change their faces. Wasn't the grassland area supposed to be a novice village? How come even dragons above the king level appeared? Riding on K Ling flying high in the sky, Chen Wei didn't even see a bird or beast flying in the air. Constrain your dragon power and pressure. He patted the crystal clear ice crystal on K Ling's head. If he entered the wild jungle like this, with the aura naturally emanating from K Ling, he would not encounter a single exotic beast. After flying for a while, towering 1,000-year-old trees came into Chen Wei's sight. This was a sea of trees, a paradise for plant-based pets. We're here, let's land first. Remember to use telekinesis to check the surrounding exotic beasts and resources first. Hearing this, K Ling carefully controlled her pressure and rushed into the dense jungle cautiously. Is this a giant prairie? And purple jade fruit? As soon as he entered the wild jungle, Chen Wei couldn't help but let out a light exclamation. He saw an insect-like exotic beast about 1 meter in size, with 2 slender antennae on its head, a dark body with a little light yellow, 6 legs, huge black eyes, and many fruits and stones on its back appeared in front of him. Name of pet, giant strength mantis. Attributes of pet, insect, racial level, advanced supernatural, strength level, lower level 2, racial skills, giant strength, instant attack, solid body, explosive charge. Introduction of pet, a rare insect beast that likes to carry all kinds of things on its back, famous for its great strength. It will place things it encounters on its back while crawling. Looking at the hemispherical purple jade fruit on the back of the giant strength mantis, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with joy. Purple jade fruit, a 3rd-level wood resource, the main refining material of purple jade pill, and it is very valuable. This fruit is easy to separate from the receptacle after ripening and fall to the ground and disappear. It is a rare beast resource in the wild. Seeing K Ling suddenly appear on the road in front of him, the giant strength mantis raised his head and looked at the behemoth in front of him with his eyes, and the 2 strong and powerful legs at the front of his body were eager to try. It wanted to defeat the monster that appeared inexplicably, and then carry it on its back. Such a size must be very challenging. Be careful, don't destroy the purple jade fruit, Chen Wei reminded K Ling in his mind. The giant magpie's eyes condensed, and it quickly charged at K Ling. You dare to attack K Ling head-on, You are indeed a rare and exotic insect. Looking at the giant magpie approaching quickly, Chen Wei's face was filled with surprise. Seeing this, Kailing's eyes flashed, and the purple jade fruit behind the giant magpie suddenly floated into Chen Wei's hands. When the giant magpie rushed to her, Kailing's eyes flashed with disdain, and her agile and elegant tail was raised high. She didn't even plan to use her skills, and directly slapped the giant magpie with a dragon's tail. As Kailing moved violently, Chen Wei quickly put the purple jade fruit in his hand into the star ring, and held the ice crystal on her head with his right hand to prevent his body from flying out suddenly. Bang! Kailing's tail hit the front limbs of the giant force magpie fiercely. The forces of both sides collided with each other, and the giant force magpie, which was named for its huge power, couldn't even hold out. It immediately flew out, and the trees broke wherever its body passed. Let's go, we have good luck today. Just this purple jade fruit can get a lot of points. Chen Wei stopped Kailing's next move. It's a pity to kill a rare species like the giant force magpie. The magic core on it is not even worth 1/10 of the purple jade fruit. Chen Wei might as well go and find trouble with other third-level beasts. At this time, in the viewing hall, looking at Chen Wei on the screen, Wu Wei's was slightly startled. He seemed to see his past figure in Chen Wei. You didn't take the magic core? You chose not to kill the monster that had no killing intention? That's what young people would do. Wu Wei shook his head slightly. Thanks to you Young Xingchen for the 109 Kidian coins, and to all the readers for voting and subscribing. Thank you for your support. Chapter 105 Three-Headed Flame Dragon. Next time I'm on you, remember to use telekinesis to help me keep my balance, Chen Wei conveyed his thoughts to Kailing. In the previous battle, if he hadn't reacted in time, he might have been thrown out by Kailing. Don't worry, with telekinesis, you can't fly out, Kailing raised her head proudly. Well, it's good to be confident, Chen Wei scratched his head. It's not easy to be a dragon knight. I hope the situation of the next battle is really as Kailing said. Walking in the wild jungle is not an easy thing. Not only are there all kinds of strange and dangerous beasts lurking in the towering trees that cover the sky, but there are also rotten branches and vines blocking the way on the wet ground from time to time. Fortunately, Kailing can float in the air to open the way, saving Chen Wei a lot of physical strength. Buzz buzz buzz, a burst of annoying buzzing sounded. Fire fist, sitting on Kailing's head, Chen Wei gently waved his right fist, and the annoying mosquitoes were instantly burned to death by the dark red flames. Pet name, black-bottomed white mosquito. Pet attribute, insect. Racial level, low level ordinary. Strength level, larval level 5. Racial skills, blood-sucking. Weak toxins limited by Yutong strength. The source fire caused by Chen Wei's red cloud flame array diagram is not powerful enough, and can only cause effective damage to larval pets. However, this flame is quite effective in killing mosquitoes. This kind of black-bottomed white mosquito that is unique to the jungle is really annoying. It is not even afraid of the breath of Kailing. Chen Wei wiped some sweat from his forehead. The wild jungle was extremely hot and stuffy. Even with his physical fitness, he couldn't help feeling a little tired after searching for resources. It took Chen Wei and Kailing half a day to enter the core area of the wild jungle. The number of alien beasts living in the core area has decreased significantly, but their strength has become stronger. However, these alien beasts with only second-level strength are not as strong as Kailing, who is a dragon. The alien beasts that Chen Wei encountered during this period were basically killed instantly. Only the second-level upper-level beasts could survive a few rounds under Kailing, but they had no power to resist during the battle and could only lose in the end. After picking the second-level spiritual plans, Chen Wei picked up a knife, and a brown-yellow second-level magic core flew out of the head of the black-gold python. With Kailing's telekinetic alert, the black-gold rock snake that hid in the mud and rotten leaves and launched a sneak attack on Chen Wei was naturally defeated. Kailing, you've worked hard. After putting the magic core and the spiritual plant into the star ring, Chen Wei patted Kailing's cheek. With this level of telekinetic monitoring, I can continue for a whole day. Oh cap. Oh, Kailing's proud voice came in his mind, and Chen Wei couldn't help but smile slightly. There are resources everywhere in the wild jungle. Under Kailing's telekinetic search, except for some beast-controlling resources that are particularly good at hiding, basically all the resources along the way were discovered and collected by them. After searching for a whole morning, they found 3 rare third-level spiritual plants, 23 second-level spiritual plants, and hundreds of first-level spiritual plants. The harvest of magic cores was relatively small, including 5 second-level magic cores and 2 first-level magic cores. The total points of these resources should be more than 6,000. I wonder what my current ranking is, Chen Wei thought to himself. At the same time, in the viewing hall, the points ranking data of the contestants have been listed. A Beastmaster named Lu Hongxin is temporarily ranked first, with 32,100 points. Second place, Gu Zulin, 25,300 points. Third place, Zhu Hanhe, 21,800 points. Fourth place, Yang Wei, 20,850 points. Fifth place, Zhang Hanayan, 15,680 points. 25th place, Man Yuquan, 9,150 points. 42nd place, Chen Wei, 6,855 points. Yu Zilman and Meng Heoj are ranked 89th and 91st, with current points of 890 and 693 points respectively. The 4 heroes of Yangling are well deserved of their reputation, leading the standings by a wide margin, a third-tier city president wearing a suit and tie said with emotion. The so-called 4 heroes of Yangling are well known in Hanyang province, and some of their outstanding deeds can even be passed on in distant third-tier cities. The well-known epic beastmaster Shan Xinghe has high hopes for them, and even gave each of the 4 heroes of Yangling a well-deserved elegant name based on the characteristics of their initial pets. Crouching Dragon Lu Hongxin, Phoenix Child Gu Zulin, Young Unicorn Zhu Hanhe and Tomb Tiger Yang Wei. These well-known titles have even been heard of by these powerful king-level beastmasters. It seems that the result of this competition is no surprise, and Yangling City is in the top 3 again. Tang Bailan, president of Changji City, had a bitter look on her face, and her tone was a little envious. Every year, the outstanding generation in Hanyang province is concentrated in Yangling City. This is not accidental. Yangling City is the only first-class city in Hanyang province. Hanyang province has thousands of rare beast-taming resources and beast-tamers concentrated in this city. The beast-taming geniuses in Yangling City are already talented, and with the extremely precious rare beast-taming resources, they have created these outstanding rising stars. If we really talk about the talent of beast-tamers, the new beast-tamers in their Changji City are just a little bit behind. Chen Wei from Shushan City, the highest ranking is 42nd. It's a great result. This has broken the record of Shushan City in the past 2 years. Guan Henry glanced at Meng Boan beside him, and his tone was a little relaxed. Chen Wei? A pedantic player. The mysterious dragon he suddenly summoned before gave Guan Henry a bad premonition, fearing that he would lose this bet. I didn't expect Chen Wei to not even take out the magic core of the monster he defeated. What a boring woman's kindness. His direct disciple Man Yuquan is currently ranked 25th. If this continues, Shushan City will not have many chances to turn the tables. No hurry, the competition has only started for half a day. What are you so anxious about? Meng Boan said to himself, ignoring Guan Henry's change of expression. Guan Henry's eyes condensed, and he sneered and said, very good, then wait and see. The core area of the wild jungle. 500 meters ahead, there are 2 beastmasters confronting each other. Kailing suddenly transmitted his thoughts. Have you met a competitor so soon? Chen Wei raised his eyebrows, a little surprised. Let's go and take a look. In the silent jungle, the voices were clearly audible, and the conversation between a man and a woman echoed in the forest. Chen Wei and Kailing hid above a giant tree, carefully observing the 2 people and 2 pets in the distance. A tall boy stood on the ground, and beside him was a 4-meter-long swift flying leopard. Pet name, Swift Flying Leopard. Pet attribute, Wind. Racial level, Top Elite. Strength level, Upper 2nd level. Opposite the boy was a girl in casual clothes. She had a big bow tied on her light pink curly hair, and she looked a little childish. Although she had a childlike face, she had a fierce temperament, giving people a different kind of contrast. There was also a dancing blue swallowtail butterfly beside her. Pet name, Thunder Swallowtail Butterfly. Pet attributes, Thunder. Insect. Racial level, Transcendent Commander. Strength level, lower 3rd rank. Mu Yangsu, I don't want to say any more nonsense. Hand over the things, and you can save yourself a beating, a clear female voice sounded. Gu Zulin, it's okay that you are beautiful, but you also have beautiful ideas. You want long-lying grass? It's very simple. If you can catch up, I will give it to you, the boy said teasingly. Before he finished speaking, Mu Yangtze immediately turned over and rode on his swift flying leopard and ran away. You are looking for death? Hearing this, a fierce light flashed in Gu Zulin's eyes, and his face instantly became gloomy. The next second, thunder sounded. The blue butterfly beside Gu Zulin grew larger rapidly, and then carried her in the direction where Mu Yangtze disappeared. Looking at the direction they left, Chen Wei frowned. It seems that the information we learned yesterday was wrong. Gu Zulin's source star has broken through to the 3rd level. Do you want to chase after it? The name Long Yang Grass sounds good. Kailing's face showed a hint of expectation. What do you think of the strength of the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly? Are you sure you can defeat it? Chen Wei asked in a low voice. Kailing raised her head proudly and said, as a matter of course, the aura of that butterfly is very strong, but I am not bad either. It's about 30% to 70%. Are you 70% sure? Chen Wei's heart moved when he heard this, and he subconsciously wanted to chase after it. Long Yang Grass is a rare 4th level dragon resource. If Kailing takes it, she may have a chance to advance directly. I'm 30% and it's 70%, Kailing said reluctantly after a slight hesitation. Chen Wei was slightly startled. Fortunately, he was more cautious and did not chase after it, otherwise this competition journey would be over. Sensing the nervousness of her own beastmaster, Kailing confidently added, go after it. Don't worry, I'm here, it can't hurt you. Can you fight 2 alone? The pet she summoned now is only a thunder swallowtail butterfly, Chen Wei asked with a smile. Hearing this, Kailing's expression froze. Although she was a little unhappy, she still gave up the idea of chasing after it. She was confident in fighting alone, but she would forget about fighting in a group. We can find Long Yang Grass by ourselves. Let's take a break and have a meal first. Chen Wei patted Kailing's head, then took out 1,000 cold marrow crystal from the star ring and stuffed it into her mouth. Suddenly, a domineering beast roar that resounded through the sky sounded like thunder from the distant lava mountain range. What kind of strange beast is this? Just listening to the powerful power attached to this roar, it is at least a top elite of the 4th level. Chen Wei subconsciously stood up and looked in the direction of the lava mountain range, saying in a surprised tone, which contestant is so courageous that he started to challenge the 5 elite beasts specially set up by the official not long after entering the Shuangjian secret realm? In the lava mountain range near the wild jungle, there is a dark black ground with hot magma flowing on the edge. A red giant bear about 10 meters tall and majestic is standing upright. The red fur on the giant bear's body is burning with boiling flames, and hot breath is exhaled from its dark nostrils. A pair of scarlet eyes are full of murderous intent and tyranny. Its strong and powerful bear paws suddenly slap the ground, and the hot magma suddenly sprays towards the blue flying dragon in the air. It is worthy of being a lava giant bear of the lower 4th level. This terrifying power and hot magma are enough to make the mountains and rivers collapse. A handsome young man with a height of more than 1.8 meters, a delicate appearance, and a calm gaze is looking calmly at the boiling magma 1 meter away, muttering, pet name, lava bear, pet attributes, fire, earth, racial level, top elite, strength level, 4th order lower, racial skills, flame splitting, landslide, lava body, magma eruption. Seeing that the bug that disturbed his sweet dream was not swallowed by the magma, the lava bear stomped his feet on the ground angrily. The earth cracked, and 4 orange-yellow pillars of fire suddenly rushed towards the flying dragon. Get out of the way, Lu Hongxin said softly. The blue 3-headed flying dragon's eyes condensed, and the wings with a wingspan of 5 meters behind it suddenly waved. As its body dodged, it dodged all 4 pillars of fire. Scorching roar, a fierce light flashed in the eyes of the 3-headed flame dragon, and a terrifying momentum instantly erupted. The fire source energy surrounding its body instantly vibrated, and the red light in its mouth also began to flicker. The next second, 3 light red flames erupted from its mouth, and finally gathered into a light red energy light column. The scorching flames on the light column seemed to burn all the moisture in the air. Boom! A terrifying loud noise suddenly exploded, and the sound of the energy impact was deafening. The smoke and dust raised by the air wave covered most of the body of the lava giant bear. In the hazy smoke, the giant bear roared again, and blew away the smoke and dust produced by the explosion by urging its own source power. This big guy is really difficult to deal with. As both are fire type, the compatibility between the 3-headed flame dragon and it is too poor, and it can't cause any obvious damage at all. Lu Hongxin frowned slightly. The scorching roar is the most powerful skill of the 3-headed flame dragon at present. After 3 consecutive attacks, it failed to leave any damage on the lava giant bear. The fire resistance of this big guy can be imagined. Could it be that the 5 top elites on the top of the lava mountain are all fire-type beasts? Lu Hongxin suddenly had this strange thought in his mind. He looked up at the blue sky, his eyes thoughtful. Is this the targeted weakening that the first one needs to suffer, with my current strength? I can't beat this lava giant bear, a low roar sounded. It will be difficult to deal with it if it goes crazy. The 3-headed flame dragon looked a little serious. Really? Then let's go find other 4th level beasts to trouble, Lu Hongxin said helplessly. He would rather find new elite level beasts than team up with those troublesome guys. Viewing hall. Even if it's swollen, don't think about solving the 4th level beasts I specially placed on the day of entering the secret realm. Seeing that Lu Hongxin's crusade failed, Wu Wet-Eyes showed an interested smile at the corner of his mouth. The 5 beasts he placed, although the race level is only top elite, and the strength is only the lower 4th level, but their race skills have reached the mastery level. This level of 4th level beasts is difficult to solve even for ordinary high-level beast masters, let alone these new beast masters. Looking at Chen Wei, who was killing all around in the wild jungle, Meng Bowen's eyes were a little dignified. If Chen Wei continues to hide in the wild jungle, it will be difficult to overtake the next points. Chapter 106 Four-Tailed Red Fox. According to the competition rules, the points of a 3rd level magic core are between 1,000 and 5,000. On the screen, Man Yuquan successfully captured a 3rd level lower level fire charm rabbit after a hard fight. The next second, Man Yuquan's points jumped from 9,150 to 110,150, and his ranking also rose to 20th place. Seeing this, Guan Henry showed a gratified smile at the corner of his mouth. You are worthy of being my disciple. Lava Mountain. The sun was scorching in the sky, and the ground was steaming. Hey, Yang Wei, are you sure there is a red cloud flower in here? A cold voice sounded. Red cloud flower, a 4th level fire resource. Fire pets below the top elite can increase some potential after eating. Hearing this, a strong, tall, and about 20-year-old young man nodded. Zhang Hanayan, there is no need for me to lie. If there wasn't a troublesome guy in this cave, I wouldn't tell you this news. Looking at the girl next to him, Yang Wei curled his lips and said in a somewhat impatient tone. The girl was dressed fashionably, with a light red belly-bearing short t-shirt that perfectly outlined her figure. At this moment, her rosy little mouth had a hint of a playful smile. Zhang Hanayan looked at the cave in the distance, and didn't seem to believe what Yang Wei said. Zhonghu Yang Wei, why don't you 4 heroes of Yangling digest this good thing by yourselves? Yang Wei rolled his eyes. We are old friends, can you please stop mentioning this title? Let's think of a way to deal with the 4-tailed red fox inside first. This kind of strange beast is not easy to deal with. How about dividing the work and cooperating? You lead it out, and I'll get the medicine. Zhang Hanayan showed a warm smile on his face, and the information about the red fox subconsciously emerged in his mind. Name of pet, 4-tailed red fox. Attributes of pet, fire, spirit, racial level, top elite, strength level, lower 4th order, racial skills, eternal red flame, sky-wide fire dance, telekinesis, spiritual break, intermediate charm. In response to this, Yang Wei smiled, with a somewhat helpless tone. If we can lure it out, why would we need to look for you? Let's work together to deal with it. There are 2 red cloud flowers in the cave, just 1 for each person. The elite level alien beasts specially arranged by the association are not that simple. Have you ever fought with it? Zhang Hanayan said. Only 1 attack. The momentum of the 4-tailed red fox is a little wrong. Just from the momentum perception, it is even stronger than the average 4th order middle level alien beast. Yang Wei smiled bitterly and shook his head. No wonder you came to me, Zhang Hanayan chuckled. Her initial pet happened to be a water type, which has a clear restraint on the 4-tailed red fox with fire attributes. Stop talking nonsense, Yang Wei said seriously. How about dividing the spoils of war equally? Even if they have been friends for many years, issues related to interests still need to be discussed in advance. This is his usual rule of doing things. I really can't do anything about you, Zhang Hanayan shrugged, his tone somewhat helpless. Although the spoils of war are divided equally, I only want the magic core. As if sensing that a creature has entered its territory, a burning fireball slowly walked out of the dark cave. In the burning fireball, a very beautiful fox can be vaguely seen. It has an elegant figure, fiery red hair, and a body of 5 meters. Its 4 fluffy and gorgeous tails flash bright red in the sun. It sniffed the air with its pointed nose, and then its black and bright eyes stared at the rocks in the distance, and its forelimbs were slightly bent. A breeze blew, and the figure of the 4-tailed red fox instantly disappeared in the cave. Damn it, I've been discovered, Chen Wei frowned. The star ring on his finger flashed slightly, and a violent aura suddenly emanated from the orange talisman array. The telekinesis of the 4-tailed red fox is extraordinary. It would be strange if it didn't discover it. Zhang Hanyin looked normal. As soon as she finished speaking, she tapped the ground with her toes, and her figure floated back to an empty boulder. The star ring on her finger suddenly burst into a bright orange light. In an instant, a huge dinosaur figure appeared in the light orange talisman array. I'll attack. You defend and limit the red fox's activities. Zhang Hanyin looked at the blazing fireball rushing towards her, and a trace of solemnity flashed in her eyes. At the same time, looking at the 2 giant beasts that suddenly appeared in front of her, the 4-tailed red fox's black eyes instantly rose a touch of red. It jumped with all its 4 legs, and a visible orange-yellow flame suddenly spread from its body, and then rushed towards Zhang Hanyin with great momentum. Viewing hall. It's only the first day, and the competition has already entered a white-hot stage. Tang Bailan's eyes showed a trace of surprise. A 4th-level elite magic core is worth at least 50,000 points. As long as a contestant can hunt 2 or more 4th-level beasts alone, he or she will basically be the champion of this competition. Finally, we are heading to the lava zone. Meng Bowen stared at Chen Wei's figure and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. If this little guy had set off a day later, perhaps all the 4th-level elite beasts in the secret realm would have been defeated by other contestants. I'm really lucky to have found a 4-tailed red fox. This is the strongest elite beast in the Shuangjian secret realm. Wu Wet-Eyes looked at the 2 people and 2 pets on the screen and thought to himself. Boom. The amazing source power fluctuations spread on the top of the lava mountain, and the slightly sharp breath and the heat spread faintly throughout the lava mountain range. As soon as this abrupt energy shock appeared, it was discovered by the strong men and beasts in the lava mountain range. Another challenger, 4 elite beasts of different shapes and not far from each other looked in the direction of the cave at the same time. Annoying bugs, a fierce light flashed in the eyes of the lava giant bear, and with its strong right palm, it took some lava from the lava river beside it and smeared it on its body, then confidently roared to the sky. There are still 2 days left. As long as I am not defeated, I can regain my freedom. Is this Chen Wei's golden crystal sky tiger? No, there is also Zhang Hanyin's vortex turtle. Lu Hongxin frowned slightly. He clapped his right hand lightly, and the 3-headed flame dragon under him suddenly changed direction and flew towards the area where the source power was boiling. Chen Wei had not left the wild jungle for long when he heard the fierce roar of beasts coming from the top of the mountain in the distance. There are at least 3 beasts fighting there. And they are all beasts above the 3rd level. Feeling the breath spreading in the distance, Chen Wei suddenly felt a touch of surprise in his heart. Kei Ling, let's go over and take a look, Chen Wei conveyed his thoughts. Hearing this, Kei Ling immediately increased her flying speed and rushed towards the direction of the beast's roar. It turned out to be a rare 4-tailed red fox. These 2 new beast masters are really skilled and bold, and they dare to provoke even such a strange beast. Landing in a remote corner, Chen Wei recognized the eye-catching fiery red giant fox at a glance, and couldn't help but show a hint of love in his eyes. It's so beautiful, he couldn't help but admire in his heart. Kei Ling subconsciously glanced at the beast master on her body, and her tone was a little sullen. In addition to the fox, the tiger and turtle fighting it are not easy to deal with. Chen Wei then swept his eyes to the opposite side. His face changed slightly. This is the golden crystal sky tiger and the Uzumaki turtle with a race level of transcendent commander. On the dark ground emitting rolling heat waves, a huge tiger with golden hair, golden crystals covering key parts of its body, and a length of 5 meters, exuding a sharp breath, was panting slightly. At this time, the bright hair on its back was partially burned by the scorching flames, and there were 2 flame scars on the right side of its body that were emitting billowing hot steam. Not far behind the golden crystal sky tiger, there was a huge beast with a brown tortoise shell up to 4 meters long, which looked a bit like an armored dinosaur. The upper and lower jaws of the vortex tortoise's mouth were hooked, as sharp as an eagle's beak, and the shields on the carapace were undulating like hills. There were many jagged protrusions on the edge of the shell, reflecting the sharp edge in the sun. Compared with the golden crystal sky tiger, whose momentum was slightly declining, the vortex tortoise still had an unstoppable momentum. When did the supernatural commander level beasts become so worthless? Chen Wei was surprised. He had met only 4 beast masters after entering the secret realm, and 3 of them had supernatural commander level pets. Human, retreat now and promise not to disturb me again, and I can let you go. A gentle voice suddenly sounded, and the 4-tailed red fox's black eyes stared at Yang Wei and Zhang Hanyin in the distance, with its fiery red tail raised high behind it. After gaining the upper hands in the battle, it had the confidence to say this. If it was not necessary, it did not want to offend humans too much. As long as you take out the red cloud flower, we will leave immediately. Yang Wei was silent for a while, then smiled and said. Unlike other top elite 4th level alien beasts, the 4-tailed red fox with spiritual attributes and strong telekinesis can communicate with humans through telepathy. Hearing this, Zhang Hanyin looked at Yang Wei with an unhappy face, but did not refute it. This fox is ridiculously strong. Even the lower-level 3rd-level golden crystal sky tiger and the Uzumaki turtle are at a disadvantage. As for the other pets they contracted, their strength is only at the upper-level 2nd level. Instead of summoning them to drag their feet, it is better to keep them for close protection. Greedy humans, seeing the breakdown of the negotiations. The 4-tailed red fox no longer hid and suddenly burst out the hidden power in its body. The surging flames ignited from its tail, and the invisible mental fluctuations began to shock the whole audience. Based on the performance of the 4-tailed red fox before, the golden crystal sky tiger can only hold on for 5 minutes at most, Yang Wei said solemnly. Then why don't you agree with its proposal? Zhang Hanyin looked at Yang Wei in confusion. If you really can't beat it, the worst thing is to run away and advance. Besides, I just sent a signal on purpose. Hold on for a while, and those 3 guys will probably be here soon, Yang Wei said. What if it's too late? Zhang Hanyin frowned slightly. You dare to chat in front of me? The 4-tailed red fox turned its anger into strength, and with a thought, an invisible mental force instantly enveloped the 2 people in the distance. Crackling, looking at the light gray protective shield that suddenly lit up on his body, Yang Wei subconsciously ordered, Golden Crystal Sky Tiger. Interrupt its mental power, turbulent waves. Zhang Hanyin continued to order. This is the problem with spiritual pets. For a beast master who is weak in the early stage, as long as the spiritual pet moves its mind, the majestic telekinesis can destroy the beast master's body in an instant. Fortunately, they all have a 4th-level source energy protection ring. At the moment the host is attacked, this source device will automatically extract the source energy of the host's physical energy, thus forming a protective shield to resist damage. Hearing this, the golden crystal sky tiger opened its bloody mouth, revealing 2 huge canine teeth. The golden crystal on its body surface emerged with dazzling light, continuously transmitting the gold source energy into its mouth to form 2 sharp golden teeth, and then rushed towards the 4-tailed red fox with great speed. The 4-tailed red fox looked at the flying golden crystal sky tiger, and a trace of disdain flashed in its eyes. While urging its telekinesis, it suddenly jumped up and narrowly avoided the oncoming sharp teeth. The 4 tails of the red fox instantly burst into orange-red flames. It twisted its body and swung it hard. A violent wind sounded, and the power of the flames surged. Boom! The fierce flame attack bombarded the back of the golden crystal tiger, and the powerful impact force knocked it away fiercely. Chen Wei took a breath gently. Even though he was far away, he seemed to be able to smell the burnt aroma of barbecue. At this moment, the vortex turtle that had been brewing for a long time in the back was ready. Above its shell, dozens of surging water columns gathered into a huge wave. The vortex turtle's eyes condensed, and the turbulent water roared, and the surging waves instantly rushed towards the direction of the 4-tailed red fox. The next second, a large amount of steam rose up, and the hot lava ground was instantly submerged by a huge amount of water. It was agreed to be 5 minutes. How come your golden crystal tiger only lasted for 1 second? Zhang Hanyin teased. She looked at the hazy water mist in front of her, and she remained vigilant in her heart. As long as it hits head-on, the turbulent waves of the vortex tortoise are enough to seriously injure the 4-tailed red fox, but with a red fox's agility, the probability of this happening is too low. Prepare to retreat. Yang Wei looked at Zhang Hanyin with a serious tone. His idea was the same as Zhang Hanyin's. This level of 4th-level alien beast requires at least 4 contestants to form a team to defeat it. Although his golden crystal sky tiger can fight across levels, its strength at the lower level of the 3rd level is still not enough. Suddenly, The figure of the four-tailed red fox appeared in front of Zhang Hanian, and the sudden blooming of the eternal red flame instantly shattered Zhang Hanian's source energy barrier. Deal with one. A trace of hesitation flashed in the eyes of the four-tailed red fox. Zhang Hanian's pupils shrank, and the source power of her whole body burst out. The light orange talisman formation instantly took shape in front of her, and a fat and thick cold and clear terror leopard blocked her in front. At the same time, the vortex tortoise beside her also exerted force with both feet, trying to use the shell on the back of its body to block the eternal red flame for the Beastmaster. The whistling eternal red flame just hit the cold and clear tear leopard summoned by Zhang Hanian. Taking this opportunity, she chose to retreat behind the Uzumaki turtle. Seeing that the sneak attack failed, the figure of the four-tailed red fox disappeared in the hazy water mist. On the other side, sand and soil flew, and the body of the cold and clear tear leopard smashed a big hole in the ground. Buzz, it rolled and roared in the pit, and water kept gushing out of its mouth, trying to extinguish the orange-red flames burning on its body. Chapter 107 Fusion Talent. Hot Wind Blue. A Beastmaster riding a swift wind-flying leopard flashed at high speed in the lava mountain. His wind-like figure even startled many irritable fire-type beasts. As a wind-attributed beast, the swift wind-flying leopard has an extremely fast attack speed, and ordinary beasts can't even catch up with it. Damn, when did that tomboy break through to the third level? Mu Yangsu glanced at the thunder swallowtail butterfly that was chasing him closely behind him, and a trace of nervousness flashed in his eyes. It's okay to snatch food from the tiger's mouth, but he also has a bad mouth. If he is caught by Guzulin this time, he will probably be electrocuted and unable to take care of himself. Roar. At this time, two 4-meter-long flaming lions were lying on the ground to rest. Looking at the uninvited guests who flashed in front of them and could not see their figures clearly, they were slightly stunned, and their bodies subconsciously made a defensive attack posture. Don't get in the way. Looking at the two third-level beasts in front of her that stood up to block the road, Guzulin's bright eyes condensed, and her red lips opened slightly. Electric shock. Boom. As soon as the voice fell, a dazzling light instantly illuminated the dark ground. The sudden burst of lightning was like a nimble blue dragon entangled the two flaming lions that had nowhere to hide. The current lasted only a short second, and the sky-high flames spread over the lions. They fell down helplessly, their bodies were charred all over, and the smell of burnt meat suddenly drifted in the air. Guzulin was just venting her emotions, and the two flaming lions with strength reaching the third level middle level lost their combat ability in an instant. It's over. Mu Yangsu glanced at the tragic scene behind him and couldn't help swallowing his saliva. If I return the Longyang grass to you, can you let me go? Mu Yangsu shouted loudly. I don't accept it. Hearing the voice coming from the front, Guzulin's mouth curled up with an inexplicable smile. It seems that the electrotherapy course given to Mu Yangsu before was not painful enough. This time she wants to increase the electrotherapy time to 3 minutes. The middle of the lava mountain top. The boiling magma was spreading all over the ground. A pale-faced, slightly thin boy bent his legs and leaped to the right. The next second, a stream of dark red magma erupted from where he was standing. Zuhanhei rolled on the extremely hot ground to relieve the pressure, and then jumped to the dark brown boulder nearby. If it were a normal 4th-level alien beast, it would have fallen long ago. The strength of this Bian Qing Niu is really outrageous. Zuhanhei's face was a little gloomy. In front of him, a tall, blue giant bull with sharp horns was bathing in the magma. The mighty Bian Qing Niu first tilted his head to look at the magma that was constantly sliding down his body, and then let out a low and domineering roar at the human in front of him. In an instant, the ground collapsed, and the dark brown rocks turned red at a speed visible to the naked eye, and then turned into boiling lava and rushed forward. As the bull roared, a strange beast with brown and yellow scales all over its body and a body length of 6 meters beside Zuhanhei also began to shine brightly. This jade yellow earth unicorn had a somewhat ferocious appearance. And there was a huge curved horn on top of its lion-like head, emitting a bronze luster. There were 3 sharp black claws on its 4 strong and powerful soles, and its tail was a bit like a bull's tail, with clusters of brown and yellow flames burning on its tail. The jade yellow earth unicorn smashed its front feet heavily, and the wind whistled. The surrounding sand and gravel were instantly lifted from the ground, and the overwhelming sand waves rushed towards the oncoming lava. With a bang, the sand waves and lava collided violently. The next second, the lava splashed, and the gushing magma slowly covered and melted the sand and gravel. The sand waves that had originally covered the mountains and fields gradually subsided. Tisk, it seems that we still have to gather at the place where Yang Wei sent the signal. Looking at the scene in front of him, Zhu Hanhei said helplessly. As soon as the words fell, he turned over and rode on his jade yellow earth unicorn. Let's go. This beast taming competition is a bit difficult. Hearing this, Yu Wangdian looked up at the Bian Qing Liu, as if to remember it, and then carried Zhu Hanhei and disappeared on the spot. The Bian Qing Liu snorted disdainfully. It did not choose to chase, but lay on the ground to enjoy the sunbath. Help! Han Qing Leibao looked at Zhang Hanan pitifully. The eternal red flame burning on its body was too difficult to deal with. Whether it was spraying water or freezing, it could not be extinguished. Han Qing Leibao had to ask for help from his beast tamer. Thank you for your hard work. Zhang Hanan's eyes flashed with a trace of heartache, and the star ring on her finger flashed slightly, and a bottle of silver-white third-level fire-removing potion appeared in her hand. The slightly cool liquid was poured on the Han Qing Leibao, and the vigorous eternal red flame gradually extinguished. The four-tailed red fox on the side was not stupid either. Taking this opportunity, it directly launched a fierce attack. Zhang Hanan only felt a flash of light, and the giant fox with flaming red hair appeared in front of her in an instant. When the flames exploded, the well-prepared Uzumaki turtle directly blocked it with its shell, and its eagle-like sharp mouth suddenly bit the giant fox. In response, the four-tailed red fox did not panic at all. Under the effect of telekinesis, its elegant figure quickly turned into a stream of scorching fire. Bang! With a muffled sound, the Uzumaki turtle took 2 steps back in pain. If this continues, without follow-up support, we can't even escape. At this time, Zhang Hanan's chest kept rising and falling, and his temples were full of sweat. There's no way, we can only hold on now. Yang Wei wiped the sweat from his forehead with his hand, and his tone was a little solemn. Fire overcomes gold, and the golden crystal sky tiger has always been at a disadvantage when facing the four-tailed red fox. If it weren't for the Uzumaki turtle's hard support, they would have been defeated by now. A red light lit up from the mouth of the four-tailed red fox. At the same time, the four tails behind it also gathered dozens of hot orange-red fireballs. A trace of worry flashed in Yang Wei's eyes, and he said anxiously, "Get out of the way." A red light flashed, and the golden crystal sky tiger screamed, and the extremely solid golden crystal on its body even showed some signs of melting. Oops. The viewing hall. Isn't this level of elite beast too much? The president of Gaoyang City Beast Taming Association couldn't help but say. Although the four-tailed red fox on the screen is only a 4th level lower position, its current strength is close to that of a 4th level middle level elite beast. There is definitely something wrong with this four-tailed red fox. There is motivation only when there is pressure. If you can't even beat an elite beast across levels, what kind of genius is that? Said a president with gray hair and extremely broad shoulders. The reason why Crouching Dragon, Phoenix Chu, Younglin and Tomb Tiger got their names is because they defeated the 3rd level elite beast across levels with their 2nd level upper initial pets. This little fox is a little strange. The four-tailed red fox is obviously only the top elite, but from the momentum it shows, it is more like a transcendent leader. Tang Bailan frowned slightly, feeling a little puzzled. As a master appraiser, she could feel something was wrong even through the screen. From the appearance alone, it doesn't look like a mutant. Is it a skill or a bloodline? After a moment of silence, Tang Bailan's brows relaxed, as if she had discovered the reason. Very good, that's it. Let me see where your limits are. Wu Wei's couldn't help but smile. After a fierce battle, the four-tailed red fox was still unscathed. Now withdraw and promise not to disturb me again, and I can let you go. A charming voice sounded again. The situation is stronger than the fox. Unlike the other beasts that are full of muscles, as a smart fox, it knows how to survive in a dangerous environment. Looking at the golden crystal sky tiger, which has consumed most of its physical strength, a hint of hesitation flashed across Yang Wei's face. Roar, I will never admit defeat, the golden crystal sky tiger suddenly roared at the four-tailed red fox. Seeing this, Yang Wei was slightly stunned, and a relieved smile appeared on his face. He turned to look at Zhang Hanyan. His tone was somewhat relaxed. I can still hold on for a few minutes, or you go first. Why, are you going to burst out with all your strength? Zhang Hanyan frowned. She knew that Yang Wei's innate talent was fusion, and he could merge with his own pet, so as to burst out several times or even dozens of times the combat power in a short period of time. As the price of the sudden increase in strength, After the fusion is over, the strength of Chen Wei and the golden crystal sky tiger will fall into a weak period for a period of time, and at that time they may not even be able to beat the second-level alien beast. I have to vent after being beaten all the time, Chen Wei smiled. Anyway, he will not die, and it is not his style to retreat in disgrace. Stubborn. The four-tailed red fox shook its head. It had lost its last bit of patience. Dozens of terrifying fireballs behind it suddenly rushed into the sky. Fire dancing all over the sky. When the bright fireballs rushed to the highest point, the blue sky suddenly turned red. The source of fire was constantly gathering. Countless fireballs were erupting, like meteors falling to the ground, smashing towards Chen Wei and Zhang Hanan. Fusion. Chen Wei touched the forehead of the golden crystal sky tiger, and a strong orange light suddenly burst out from his source star. At the moment when the golden crystal sky tiger turned into orange light and disappeared, the bones all over Chen Wei's body suddenly made a crisp sound, and the muscles on his body began to swell, holding up his clothes. The originally black hair instantly turned into upright golden hair, and a layer of golden crystal objects covered his body, like a golden armor. The surging source power and golden crystals condensed into 10 materialized long claws on the backs of his hands, and each claw faintly exuded the sharp and incomparable characteristics of the gold attribute. As if a part of the beast nature was added during the fusion, Chen Wei's upper body slowly pressed down, and he landed on all fours, and an unstoppable momentum suddenly emanated. What a handsome transformation talent! Chen Wei looked at Chen Wei in the distance with shining eyes. If only his identification talent could be replaced with this kind of combined combat talent. What a terrifying fire skill! Can you block it? Looking at the terrible scene in front of him that was comparable to a natural disaster, Zhang Hanan's tone was a little heavy. How do you know if you don't try it? Chen Wei, who had completed the fusion, had a sense of wildness. He took a step forward with force, and a layer of golden light shield suddenly spread out from his body, and wrapped Zhang Hanan and the Uzumaki turtle beside him. At the moment the light shield was formed, countless fierce flames exploded on the light shield, like dazzling fireworks. Bang! 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 The seemingly weak golden light shield has quite good durability and blocks all the incoming flames. Can you hold on? Zhang Hanan said worriedly, looking at the ripples constantly emerging on the light shield. If this stream of fire does not stop, it can only last for 3 minutes at most. Chen Wei's face showed a trace of bitterness. Short and weak. Zhang Hanan couldn't help but complain. She immediately looked down at the star ring on her finger, and was in hesitation for a moment. Scorching roar! Suddenly, a light red beam of energy rushed towards the four-tailed red fox. What a trouble! The red fox raised his head, without a trace of surprise on his face, and jumped directly to the rock on the right to avoid it. You came just in time. Looking at the three-headed flying dragon flying in the sky, Zhang Hanan's face lit up, and she dispelled the idea that had just popped up. It's fire attribute again. How come this four-tailed red fox is more powerful than the lava giant bear I met before? In the sky, Lu Hongxin stared at the majestic flame giant fox on the ground, and he was a little speechless. The 5 elite beasts on the top of the lava mountain couldn't really be all fire type. The three-headed flame dragon has only a few dragon type skills. How to fight it? The four-tailed red fox stared at the flying dragon above his head with indifferent eyes, and his mind moved, and the majestic mental power in his body was instantly activated. Spirit break. An invisible and terrifying mental wave suddenly descended upon Lu Hongxin. Lu Hongxin suddenly felt a sense of crisis, and he quickly activated the dark gold bracelet on his left hand, and a light red protective shield rose instantly. Crackling, mental attack. Lu Hongxin frowned slightly, and said, Dragon Flame Breath. The three-headed flame dragon spit out a hot breath containing dragon source energy from its mouth. The dazzling flames fell from the sky, rushing towards the three-tailed red fox at lightning speed. Amid a large number of hissing sounds, a deep pit about 5 meters long and wide appeared directly on the ground. Around the pit, there were still a few wisps of light red flames burning. Sure enough, it is difficult for long-range attack skills to hit the sensitive red fox. Thinking of this, the solemnity in Lu Hongxin's eyes became more and more intense. Sensing the disappearance of the flowing fire, Chen Wei, with his golden hair, suddenly exploded. His figure turned into golden light, and the sharp claws on the back of his hands instantly formed a pair of golden sharp claws half a meter long, and fiercely attacked the heart of the four-tailed red fox. Looking for death, the four-tailed red fox raised its flaming front claws and swung them at Chen Wei fiercely. The sharp sound of the flaming claws could even be heard by Chen Wei, who was hiding in the distance. Bang! The claws collided violently. After a loud bang, Yang Wei's figure flew out at a high speed, and the rocks he touched along the way were smashed by his body. Puff! Yang Wei fell to the ground, his body trembled, and he couldn't help spitting out a few mouthfuls of blood. At this time, a huge beast suddenly covered Yang Wei's body. What a mess, Yang Wei looked up and couldn't help but reveal a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Zuhan, hey, you can do it if you can, everyone can say sarcastic words. Thanks to Zanuel Wenji for the 100 Kidian coins, and thank you to all the readers for subscribing and voting. Thank you for your support. Chapter 108 Strange Human. Are you planning to form a group to kill the boss? Chen Wei looked at the four people surrounding the four-tailed red fox, and his face changed slightly. The so-called Crouching Dragon, Younglin and Tomb Tiger of Yangling City are all gathered here. Now all they need is a phoenix. Are we going out to fight? Chen Wei's mind suddenly rang with Kei Ling's eager voice. As the trump head of her own Beastmaster, her road to becoming a king will start from here. Let's take a look at the situation first. I don't know if it's an illusion, but I always feel that there is something wrong with that four-tailed red fox. Chen Wei refused decisively. This is a top elite beast of the lower 4th rank. If Kei Ling is not careful in the battle, she is likely to be seriously injured. Besides, as a senior plush control, he has no idea about the magic core on the four-tailed red fox. Its elegant and beautiful figure made Chen Wei feel the urge to rub the fox's head. Sure enough, the more beautiful the pet, the more dangerous it is, Chen Wei thought to himself. What a pity. Kei Ling's eyes flashed with disappointment, and her tone was a little depressed. If we don't go out, the four of them alone can't beat the red fox. Hearing this, Chen Wei's heart jumped slightly, and he quickly turned his head to look at Kei Ling beside him. With their pets, are you sure you can defeat the four-tailed red fox? Don't worry, even if you can't beat it, it can't stop us if we want to leave. Kei Ling nodded confidently. She looked like she was here, so you can rest assured. Chen Wei breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that he underestimated Kei Ling's strength. Did you only have a 30-70 chance of winning the 3rd level Angry Thunder Swallowtail Butterfly before? You? Chen Wei looked at Kei Ling hesitantly. He was a little curious, how did Kei Ling get such a chance? Obviously, she only had the strength of the lower 2nd level. Kei Ling was silent for a while, and then her mind transmitted, 30-70 is a battle between beasts. If it is a battle of life and death, I will give it 0-0. Hearing this, Chen Wei was stunned, and then quickly reacted to Kei Ling's meaning. I'm the one who's holding you back. We can just watch the show now. There's no need to activate the thing. At this point, Chen Wei subconsciously touched his forehead, with a hint of melancholy on his face. In the final analysis, it was because his source star cultivation was too weak, which even limited Kei Ling's strength. Seeing that her own Beastmaster was a little disappointed, Kei Ling instantly wrapped her body around Chen Wei's neck, with a bit of panic in her eyes. No, there was a bit of regret on her face, and even the white round beads hidden in her body trembled slightly. Sorry, Chen Wei gently stroked Kei Ling on his neck with his hand. I want to do this, and it has nothing to do with you. Kei Ling suddenly looked straight at Chen Wei with her eyes, and the spirit conveyed in her mind was particularly resolute. Thank you for your hard work. Looking at the resolute Kei Ling in front of him, Chen Wei was a little absent-minded for a while. Until a violent explosion sounded in the distance. Earth-shattering, Zhu Hanhe ordered. Yu Huang Dylan's front paw slammed heavily in the direction of the four-tailed red fox, and the earth source power in his body surged out. Clear rumbling sounds continued to be heard, and the earth began to shake violently. Even Chen Wei, who was far away, felt his steps unstable. The ground under the four-tailed red fox's feet suddenly cracked, and a huge rock pillar emitting a yellowish-brown light shot up from the cracked ground. The surface of the huge and sharp rock pillar contained condensed earth source power, which looked extremely powerful. Feeling the rock pillar shooting towards it, the four-tailed red fox's mind moved, an invisible and majestic mental power surged out of its body, and its fiery red body swept into the sky like a cannonball. Dragon Flame Breath. Lu Hongxin looked at the flying fire shadow, and his eyes suddenly condensed. Roar! The three-headed flame dragon roared loudly, opened three ferocious huge mouths, and light red flames began to condense in its mouth. The next second, the flames spewed out, and the scorching energy quickly turned into a murderous flaming dragon. The four-tailed red fox flashed, and the four powerful flaming tails hit the three-headed flame dragon's huge mouth fiercely. Everyone looked up in surprise, and heard a huge roar in the air. Sensing a powerful impact, Lu Hongxin immediately grabbed the three-headed flame dragon's neck with both hands. At the same time, the three-headed flame dragon, which was hit hard, fell rapidly, and its wings with a wingspan of 5 meters suddenly shrank. Its body was like a meteor, and it drew a deep gully of 10 meters long on the ground. The smoke and dust gradually dissipated, and the three-headed flame dragon, which landed hastily, spread its wings, revealing the intact beastmaster on its body. Damn, this fox is too fast. Thinking of this, Lu Hongxin turned his head to look at Yang Wei and Zhu Hanhei, who were surprised in the distance, and his tone was a little unhappy. You really know how to pick your opponents. Hey, are you still in the mood to chat? A charming voice suddenly sounded. Looking at the beastmasters that kept appearing around, the four-tailed red fox's black eyes showed a hint of helplessness. Swoosh, it suddenly turned into a red light that flew down like a gust of wind and lightning, and appeared in front of Yang Wei in an instant. Yang Wei's pupils shrank, and he felt an extremely hot flame coming from in front of him. He bent his arm slightly, and the extremely sharp gold source power in his body surged in front of him. Boom! Yang Wei's whole body suddenly hit the ground, and the golden crystal on his body shattered instantly. A burst of golden light flashed, and a comatose golden crystal sky tiger appeared beside him. Are you okay? How about we retreat first? This fox is getting stronger. Zhang Hanyin frowned slightly and said cautiously. After seeing the terrifying strength of the four-tailed red fox, she no longer had any expectations of obtaining the red cloud flower, let alone getting the 4th-level magic core. The star ring between her fingers flashed, and the golden crystal sky tiger was taken in. Yang Wei smiled bitterly and nodded. If he hadn't carried some life-saving devices, he would have died here. Tisk, how embarrassing, Zhu Hanhei said with some disdain. You two go first, Lu Hongxin, and I don't need your help. Lu Hongxin on the side. Zhang Hanyin smiled awkwardly, and then quickly retreated with Yang Wei and the Uzumaki turtle. No fun. Seeing them start to run away, the four-tailed red fox did not choose to chase them, but turned around and walked slowly towards the cave. Not chasing. Lu Hongxin and Zhu Hanhei, who were about to cover their teammates' departure, were slightly stunned, and then their figures quickly disappeared. Do you think I can't find you hiding behind a rock in the distance? A lazy voice suddenly sounded. The four-tailed red fox looked up at Chen Wei's hiding place, with a little curiosity in his eyes. This human is very strange. It actually noticed Chen Wei's existence a long time ago, but it didn't deliberately expose it because it had to deal with those uninvited guests. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109 Happy Transaction. I was discovered again. Hearing the voice coming from the front, Chen Wei shook his head helplessly, and then walked out from behind the rock generously. Kailing beside him followed closely. Why, you have been here for so long, do you also want the red cloud flower? The four-tailed red fox took a few steps forward and asked with interest. Yes, Chen Wei nodded seriously, and then subconsciously asked back, you asked this question, do you want to give me the red cloud flower? Hearing this, the four-tailed red fox was slightly stunned, and looked at the cunning human in front of him with curiosity. This man is very special. It did not detect a trace of greed and malice in Chen Wei through its mind perception. If the other party's strength was not too poor, it would even think that its ability to perceive emotions was blocked. Shameless human, why should I give you the red cloud flower? The four-tailed red fox reacted with its eyes condensed, and a shocking momentum suddenly surged from it. This oncoming powerful pressure made Chen Wei couldn't help but take a few steps back. Seeing this, Kailing quickly stood in front of Chen Wei. A domineering dragon roar sounded, and Kailing's body expanded at a speed visible to the naked eye. The originally petite body turned into a giant monster, more than 10 meters long in the blink of an eye. Her majestic eyes that could overwhelm the mountains and rivers stared closely at the red fox in front of her. At this moment, Kailing, who had entered the combat state, moved her body slightly, and the shock wave combined with her own dragon power and the blue telekinesis immediately swept forward. It is indeed a pure-blooded dragon. A trace of surprise flashed in the eyes of the four-tailed red fox. Although the dragon in front of it looked only at the second level, It could faintly feel a trace of danger. This inexplicable sense of danger was even stronger than that of the Beastmasters before. Keiling, wait a minute, Chen Wei suddenly spoke when the atmosphere between the two sides became solemn. If you don't want to send me off, then don't. We are just passing by, and we have no ill intentions. Sorry to bother you, we will leave now. As soon as the voice fell, Chen Wei looked at the red fox in the distance with sincere eyes, and then slowly retreated with Keiling. Skin is skin. This fox is extremely powerful, and he has no intention of fighting. He can't finish drinking Bai Luo's special spiritual liquid every day, so what is the so-called red cloud flower? Moreover, he just wants to develop steadily now, and he has no intention of competing for the qualification to enter the heritage ruins. After retreating several steps in succession, just when Chen Wei thought he could leave safely, the voice of the four-tailed red fox suddenly sounded. Wait, Chen Wei's footsteps stopped suddenly, looking at the four-tailed red fox in front of him who always maintained an elegant posture, with a trace of doubt on his face. The red fox blinked his eyes and asked curiously, if I give you the red cloud flower, what can you give me? Chen Wei was stunned. What does this mean? Could it be that it can also exchange resources? Hey, something is wrong. By the way, do the beast-controlling resources exchanged in the secret realm count as points? Chen Wei couldn't help scratching his head, and didn't know what to say for a moment. Why, do you want me to give it to you for nothing? The red fox asked softly. The status of this human in front of him is definitely not ordinary. He can even contract the proud pure-blooded dragon. Maybe we can learn more intelligence information from him. Of course not, Chen Wei smiled and said, can 2 white jade snow ginsengs be exchanged for red cloud flowers? I don't understand the names of your human spiritual medicines. Take out the snow ginseng and have a look. Chen Wei hesitated for a moment, took out a jade box from the star ring and opened it, revealing the spiritual medicine inside that was completely snow white with a light yellow color. This snow ginseng is not as vigorous as the red cloud flower, and it doesn't look very delicious. The red fox shook his head slightly. The meaning of this sentence is very clear. It thinks this is a loss. That's why I exchanged 2 snow ginsengs for a red cloud flower with you. Chen Wei shrugged helplessly. Among the 3rd-level spiritual medicines on him, only the white jade snow ginseng is the most precious. As for Bai Luo's spiritual liquid, there was no way he could take it out. 5 snow ginsengs, the red fox directly increased the price. 4 at most, at least 5 baht, 3 at most. Are you kidding me? The four-tailed red fox was stunned for a moment, and then quickly reacted, and the flames at the tail behind it suddenly rose up. Why is the price getting lower and lower the more it bargains? It suddenly felt that its IQ was insulted. Then how about 4? Chen Wei said cautiously. Although it would make a lot of money by exchanging 5 baht snow ginseng, he couldn't help but bargain. Tisk, 4 is 4, if you are brave enough, just follow me. The red fox threw down a sentence angrily, and then turned and walked towards the cave. Looking at the elegant red shadow in front of him, Chen Wei couldn't help but smile. I didn't expect it was still a stupid fox. Keiling on the side, the situation on the scene changed too quickly. How could the enemy she expected suddenly become the trading object? With you here, I'm relieved. At worst, we can just run away. Seeing that Keiling was still a little confused at this time, Chen Wei showed a sunny smile on his face. Without the 3 or 2, how dare you go to Liangshan? Keiling has already promised. Of course he trusts the strength of his pet. Hearing this, Keiling nodded confidently. Seeing Keiling's agreement, Chen Wei immediately turned his head to look at the pitch-black cave in the distance. The red fox stood at the entrance of the cave and glanced at Chen Wei. Why, are you scared? That's not the case, Chen Wei retorted with a smile. While keeping a safe distance from the red fox, he slowly moved towards the direction of the cave. Keiling's figure moved with it, and her petite body instantly hovered over her own beastmaster, directly becoming a veritable personal bodyguard. A moment later, Chen Wei came to the lava river outside the cave. Red fox, wait for me here. Looking at the back of the red fox entering the cave, Chen Wei couldn't help but frown, and then his eyes swept across the rocks near the cave. There is no danger nearby, and there is no ambush in the cave, Keiling conveyed his thoughts. Chen Wei nodded slightly. Not long after, the red fox appeared at the entrance of the cave with a spiritual medicine with petals as red as ruby and even the roots as red as fire. This is the red cloud flower you want. Looking at the fiery red spiritual medicine floating a few meters in front of him, Chen Wei's eyes flickered. After confirming that it was correct, A hint of excitement appeared on his face, and he immediately took out 2 jade boxes from the star ring and placed them on the ground. Happy cooperation, this is your white jade Snowjin-sen. The 4-tailed red fox cast his eyes on the jade box, and his mind moved, and the invisible power of thought entangled it. Transaction completed, putting the red cloud flower in front of him into the jade box that had been prepared long ago. Chen Wei couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It's really rare to find a fox with integrity. After a slight hesitation, Chen Wei said, "My name is Chen Wei, can you tell me your name?" The 4-tailed red fox rolled his eyes at Chen Wei in the distance. Name? That's something you humans would do. Chapter 110 Pet Contract. The 4-tailed red fox paused, as if thinking of something, and then said, "Names are alright, you can call me Fei." Fei. Hearing this, Chen Wei was a little surprised, and looked carefully at the 4-tailed red fox in front of him. "Why, is there a problem with this name?" The red fox frowned, and a trace of doubt flashed in his eyes. "No, then I will call you Fei from now on." Chen Wei nodded with satisfaction. Its fiery red hair was shining in the sunlight, as bright as the sun and stars. "Are you too arrogant?" Looking at the young man in front of him, Fei spit out flames from her mouth, then raised her head high, and her tone was very dissatisfied. Seeing this, Kayling subconsciously raised her spirits, and a faint ripple appeared in the surrounding space. It turned out to be a space-type dragon. "No wonder you have the confidence to trade with me." The 4-tailed red fox was shocked. The gap in strength between the two sides was too large. If they really had to fight, it was confident that it could deal with this pure-blooded dragon in a short time, but the space-type dragon was an exception. A space pet that has learned to teleport can make multiple space jumps in an instant. It can't catch up with this escape skill. Moreover, its range of activities can only be within the lava mountain top. Chen Wei was slightly startled. It seems that this method of getting close to Fei is ineffective. "Sorry, I used the wrong words. Since the transaction is completed, I will take my leave." Chen Wei, who reacted, apologized. "Damn, it seems that I can't touch the fluffy fiery red hair today." Strange human. Looking at Chen Wei's slightly depressed figure, Fei, who can sense emotions, was slightly stunned. But compared with the other beastmasters who challenged him as soon as they came to the door, this young man left a good impression on it. "Wait a minute, do you want another red cloud flower?" It stopped the human. Chen Wei paused, a trace of surprise flashed in his eyes. "You still have red cloud flowers, of course." Fei smiled casually. "I only have a few white jade Snowjinsengs on me, and there are no more." Chen Wei coughed lightly, and then smiled bitterly. "He only carries a small amount of white jade Snowjinsen, and the rest are planted in Bai Luo's herbal space. It's been a day since we last met, and I wonder if Bai Luo and Yu Tong are used to living in the herbal space these 2 days? No need to barter this time," Fei said seriously. "Then what do you need?" Chen Wei asked in surprise. As an ordinary beastmaster, he doesn't have anything that a 4th-level elite beast needs to covet. Exchange for intelligence. Fei glanced at the sky subconsciously, and her tone was a little solemn. "Chen Wei, now it's a live broadcast of the game. Could it be that this 4-tailed red fox in front of me is planning to rape me?" After hesitating for a while, Chen Wei said, "What intelligence?" He wanted to know what this fox was going to do. "With your strength, what is your ranking among the beastmasters who entered the secret realm this time?" Chen Wei was stunned for a moment. This kind of question was completely beyond his expectations. What a sharp question. He scratched his head awkwardly. "Is it difficult to answer?" Fei blinked her black fox eyes. "Is this the only question? Or are there many?" Chen Wei confirmed. "There are only 3 questions. This is the first one, top 10. "Right." Chen Wei reached out and touched the always vigilant Kayling on his body, and said modestly. Fei nodded thoughtfully. "In addition to the spiritual medicine, are the magic cores on the alien beasts also your target?" "Yes." Chen Wei breathed a sigh of relief. He could still answer such a simple question. "What about the third question?" Fei's eyes darkened, and after hesitating for a moment, she finally spoke. "Can the alien beasts in the secret realm live here with humans?" Hearing this, Chen Wei's heart moved, and his eyes looked at Fei in front of him in surprise. What does this sudden turn mean? Could it be that he can kidnap a top elite in the secret realm? Yes, but only for the beasts contracted by the Beastmaster. Uncontracted beasts are not allowed to be taken out of the secret realm. Chen Wei continued to add, with your current strength of the lower 4th level, None of the beast masters who entered the secret realm this time can contract you, unless they abandon their original pets. The contestants of this beast control competition are all geniuses from each city. It is basically impossible for them to abandon their original pets. What's more, FIFA's strength is so strong. Except for those beast control geniuses who have reached the 3rd level of the Source Star, the beast masters of other Source Stars who are only the 2nd level dare not take such a big risk to contract a 4-tailed red fox. In the case of a 2-level gap in strength, even a solid beast control contract will become a thin piece of paper and can be torn off at will. In this way, compared with the strange beasts in the secret realm, isn't the pet you have cultivated from the juvenile stage not good? I understand, a lazy voice suddenly sounded. I'm just asking, and the remaining red cloud flower will be given to you. After leaving this sentence, FIFA turned and entered the cave. The next second, a red jade-like spiritual medicine suddenly flew out of the cave. After keeping the spiritual flower in front of him, Chen Wei couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Unfortunately, if it weren't for the rules of the beast taming competition, and the fact that FIFA was dangerous, he really wanted to take this elegant and lovely 4-tailed red fox away. Although elite beasts like this that grew up in the secret realm are extremely powerful, there are many risks of backlash for beast tamers who are weak in the early stage. In order to pursue strength, some beast tamers will even tame beasts without signing a beast taming contract. Therefore, unless the beast taming contract has been signed, the Beast Taming Association generally does not allow beast tamers to take beasts away from the secret realm. Let's go find resources elsewhere. Patting Kayling on his neck, Chen Wei couldn't help but feel a little regretful. In the end, he still couldn't touch the fluffy hair. Kayling glanced at the dark cave, and her body flew into the air. Her slender body quickly expanded and turned into a huge dragon. After Chen Wei rode on the colorful spirit and turned into a black dot in the sky and disappeared, a fiery red figure suddenly rushed out of the cave. In the viewing hall, Chen Wei's points soared from 6,855 points to 38,500 points, and his ranking jumped from the original 40-something to 2nd place. At this time, the first on the scoreboard was Gu Zulin, with a total score of 41,600 points. Lu Hongxin dropped to 3rd place, and his current score was 37,100. Noticing the drastic changes in the scoreboard, the city presidents all cast their eyes on Chen Wei on the big screen, their faces a little strange for a moment. Sure enough, there is another dark horse this year. Which city is this genius Chen Wei from? Chapter 111 Enemies from the Sky. The 3 characters Shushan City are clearly written on the big screen. If you don't want to use your eyes, you can give them to me, a city president with a scour on his face and a fierce temperament said with his arms crossed. Oh, it turns out that you are the genius of Shushan City. Old Meng, you are good at it. A smiling and handsome middle-aged man couldn't help but pat Meng Bowen on the shoulder. It's just luck, Meng Bowen said with a smile. He has long been accustomed to this kind of chat. Tisk, can you also get points by exchanging resources? Guan Henry said with disdain. Even if the points are temporarily overtaken, what does it matter? There is still a lot of time left, and his disciples will definitely catch up. Without sufficient strength to hold it, even if you get a beast control resources in your hands, it will be nothing more than a passing cloud. If you have any objections, you can raise objections to the Provincial Beast Control Association. Meng Bowen glanced at Guan Henry beside him lightly. At this time, a 3rd-level city president wearing a suit and elegant temperament said with emotion, I remember that in the 1022nd beast taming competition, there was also such a contestant who obtained points by exchanging. Guan Henry was slightly startled. He also remembered this contestant. The contestant's innate talent is a rare mind connection, which can match the mind of the exotic beast, thereby gaining the trust and attachment of the pet. A rare moderate? This doesn't match Director Han's personality. At this time, Wu Wei's, the president of Yangling City, thought thoughtfully. A day later, looking at the flaming lion that fell to the ground in front of him, a trace of joy flashed in Chen Wei's eyes. Another 1,000 points were obtained. Although Chen Wei had no idea about the qualification to enter the Heritage Ruins, he still wanted to accumulate as many points as possible to improve the ranking of Shushan City. There is no way. Who made him take President Meng's Dragon Scale soft armor? Eat people's mouths soft, take people's hands short, and work hard. Someone is coming from the sky, Kayling suddenly reminded. Chen Wei immediately looked up. A beautiful swallowtail butterfly with a body of 4 meters, whose wings were changing color from dark blue to light blue, was flying towards him. Above the swallowtail butterfly, there was a girl who was dressed casually and looked a little childish. Guzulin, Chen Wei immediately recognized this powerful beastmaster he had met in the wild jungle before. Hand over the magic cores and beastmaster resources you obtained in the secret realm. I only want half, a clear female voice suddenly came from the air. The next second, the figure of the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly appeared dozens of meters away from Chen Wei. Is this a dragon? After the distance was shortened, Guzulin observed the petite dragon on Chen Wei's body and the unfamiliar dragon master Chen Wei with doubts. At this time, her heart was full of horror. Is this a new way of evolution? How could a beastmaster be able to contract a pure-blooded dragon with a race level above the brilliant king level? Impossible. Even if her source star reached the 3rd level, she could not contract a pet above the king level. All below the king are ants. Only beastmasters with a 4th level source star can contract a king level pet. This is the limit of a beastmaster's source star. The race level of the dragon in front of him is only a transcendent commander at most. And he is not on the list of 2nd level cities in Hanyang province. Could it be a contestant from a 3rd level city? The contestant information she had checked before did not include this strange man in front of her. Thinking of this, Guzulin immediately took out a pair of source energy glasses from the star ring and put them on. Ding. Strength level 2, normal source energy value. 4100, Guzulin breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the dragon in front of her did not reach the 8000 normal source energy value of the 2nd level king level. Then a solemn look appeared in her bright eyes. Her angry thunder-winged butterfly, which has the potential of the lower grade of the Zhuan level, currently has a strength of the lower level of the 3rd level and only has a normal source energy value of 5600. This 2nd level dragon can have a normal energy value of 4100. It might be a supernatural leader of the heavenly rank. Guzulin's eyes showed a touch of envy. You know, the normal energy value of a supernatural leader of the 2nd level upper level is only 4000 energy value at most. Only pets with bloodline potential above the heavenly rank can break through this limit. Chen Wei was slightly startled, looking at the girl with a gloomy face in front of him, with a puzzled tone. Are you robbing me? No. After all, the rules of the competition say that if there is a situation of competing for beast resources, as long as there is no behavior of injury or death, both beastmasters are allowed to compete in any way. Although she was shocked, Guzulin still showed a faint smile on her face and said in a natural tone. So you are interested in the beast resources on me? Chen Wei was a little surprised. This competition rule can be interpreted in this way. What's the difference between this and robbery? Don't worry, I only need half of the beast control resources, Guzulin said softly, as if the resources on Chen Wei were already in her hands. If 2 days ago, the strength of the angry thunder phoenix butterfly was still at the upper level of the 2nd level, she could only run away in disgrace. However, this time is different, and now she has enough strength. The normal energy gap of 1500 alone is enough for her to defeat the mysterious dragon knight in front of her. Looking at the confident girl in front of him, Chen Wei's face was a little strange. Is he being underestimated? Seeing that her own beastmaster was underestimated, Kailing's eyes condensed, and a powerful momentum that shook the world suddenly surged from her slender body. Zizzy, the pupils of the angry thunder phoenix butterfly suddenly shrank, and subconsciously flapped its wings and retreated. Looking at the source energy value that kept fluctuating on the source energy glasses, Guzulin's expression changed slightly, and then took off the source energy glasses on her face. She didn't have the habit of using source energy glasses to fight. In battle, the constantly fluctuating source energy value would only affect her judgment and command. Is it unnecessary? It would be great if we could all search for resources in peace. Chen Wei spread his hands. He didn't want to fight this inexplicable battle at all. Either take out the beast control resources or fight. There is no other choice. Guzulin slowly landed from the air. Are you sure? Chen Wei exhaled lightly, seeming a little entangled. Of course, Thunder Spirit Transformation, Guzulin ordered loudly. She disdains sneak attacks. If she wants to fight, she should fight openly. Hearing this, the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly flying in the sky immediately appeared with dazzling blue electric currents, and the momentum of the whole body continued to rise. Polar ice, looking at the swallowtail butterfly in front of him that began to accumulate power, Chen Wei said decisively. Facing the four-tailed red fox, he could run away. But facing Gu Zulan, he felt that there was no need to run away. Keeping a low profile does not mean that others can come to your door to pick a fight. Since Gu Zulan insisted on doing so, Chen Wei had to accompany her. As the price of this battle, Chen Wei was ready to take away half of her beast control resources. Chapter 112, Immortal Thunder. Keiling moved, and the endless coldness in her body swept all around. In just a moment, the dark ground that originally emitted fiery heat instantly turned into a world of ice and snow. Crackle, crackle, frostfall ice spikes. Chen Wei sent his thoughts. A gust of cold wind blew past, and a large number of fine cracks appeared on the smooth and flat ice sculpture ground. Countless cold and sharp ice spikes shot out from the ground, like thousands of arrows. Facing the dense attack of ice spikes, the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly with blue lightning wrapped in the sky flapped its wings, and the color of the electric current on its body instantly changed from dark blue to white and blue. Fight back with thunderstorms. Gu Zulan's eyes condensed, and a solemn look appeared on her face. Boom! Lightning flashed. A series of terrifying thunders quickly emerged from around the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly, and then gathered into a white and blue thunder energy light column with a diameter of half a meter. Boom! The burst of lightning collided head-on with the ice spikes. The extremely penetrating electric current turned the ice spikes into fragments, and at the same time, the severe frost also froze and consumed the violent thunder. After a brief stalemate, the biting cold finally slowly suppressed and froze the electric current. Several sudden silver-blue ice spikes instantly passed through the energy beam and came in front of the angry thunder butterfly. Gu Zulan's heart skipped a beat. Under the direct confrontation of skills, her pet was actually suppressed. Obviously, the normal source energy value of the pets of both sides was very different. Get out of the way, Gu Zulan noticed something wrong. Those unusual ice spikes must not be taken head-on. The cold air attacked, and at the moment when it was about to be hit by the ice spikes, the angry thunder butterfly flapped its wings and instantly moved a few meters away. Teleport. The next second, a trace of pain appeared on the face of the angry thunder butterfly. A faint ripple appeared at the front of its wings at some point, and several silver-blue ice spikes suddenly pierced its body, and a silver-white special frost suddenly erupted. The intense pain of being deprived of its source power and vitality made the body of the angry thunder butterfly tremble uncontrollably, and its body, which was originally soaring in the sky, began to slowly fall. Seeing this, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with joy, and he felt more confident. The coldness of the tarsal bones of the frostfall embers was enough to reduce the combat power of the angry thunder butterfly by 2 or 3 levels. Teleport. Gu Zulan's pupils suddenly shrank, and her bright eyes could not help but stare at the mysterious, elegant and powerful dragon in front of her. It was abnormal enough to be a pure-blooded dragon, but I didn't expect it to be an extremely rare space dragon. This rare dragon species is something that a new beastmaster can contract. Even a king-level beastmaster would probably find it difficult to contract such a proud dragon. Frostfall cold breath. Chen Wei took advantage of the victory and pursued. Is it wrong? Why is it a little vulnerable? A trace of surprise flashed in Keiling's eyes. Was the strong danger she sensed before just an illusion? A domineering dragon roar sounded, and a terrifying cold breath of silver and blue gushed out of Keiling's mouth. In an instant, an extremely cold dragon breath condensed by ice energy roared towards the angry thunder butterfly, like a huge ice dragon with surging momentum. At this moment, the shock on Gu Zulan's face was fleeting, and her heart began to beat violently. So what if it's a rare space system? She has been highly expected by her family since she was a child. She is an unattainable beast-taming genius in the eyes of ordinary people. After contracting the pet beast for just a few months, she was able to surpass the level and defeat the elite beast. How could she lose to a dragon with only the strength of the second level? She would never allow it. Gu Zulan couldn't help but clench her fists, forcibly suppressing the complicated thoughts in her heart, and without hesitation, urged her own innate talent, Undying Thunder. This talent can greatly enhance the power of the electric pet beast. As long as the thunder on the body is still there, the damage suffered by the pet beast and the beast tamer can be infinitely restored. In the sky, several purple-red lightning bolts began to surge out of the body of the angry thunder swallowtail. Its falling body suddenly stopped, and the bone-corrosive frost on its wings was instantly suppressed. Its own aura continued to soar, and a powerful commander-level pressure was immediately released. Thunder flash, the violent thunder exploded from the body of the angry thunder swallowtail. Its speed suddenly soared, and it rushed towards Keiling at lightning speed. Yes, that's it. Staring at the dazzling purple shadow rushing over, Keiling's eyes flashed with excitement. Only by defeating such a powerful opponent can his own Beastmaster win the first place. Don't you want to dodge? Sensing Keiling's thoughts, Chen Wei couldn't help but reveal a trace of helplessness at the corner of his mouth. What a fierce little guy. Big and small plus frost surrounded, Chen Wei thought. Boom. Keiling's body expanded rapidly, from a petite dragon with a body size of only about 1 meter to a huge dragon with a body length of more than 20 meters, and a dragon's might that shook the sky and the earth. At this time, 8 huge rings of frost gathered on Keiling's proud body. Surrounded by frost, the air around her instantly became extremely cold. Bang, bang, bang. Under the strong electric current attack, the 3 rings of frost on Keiling's body suddenly dissipated, and a terrifying cold air invaded. Perhaps because of the fear of the deep cold frost, the purple lightning shadow was separated at the touch. The dragon swings its tail, the thick blue tail behind Keiling slammed fiercely at the retreating angry thunder swallowtail in front of it. Guzulin, Thunder Dodge, Fire Fist. Chen Wei took this opportunity to launch a powerful fire attack at the girl in the distance in front. Guzulin, obviously, the dragon knight in front of him had contracted a dragon of ice and space, so why did the Beastmaster himself launch a fire attack? Awakening the fire talent can also contract an ice dragon. What the hell is this? Looking at the surging flames, Guzulin couldn't help but widen her eyes, and the star ring on her finger flashed. Instantly, a bird figure appeared in the pale orange rune formation. It was a bird pet beast about half a meter in size, with brightly colored feathers all over its body. The crest feathers on its head were like lightning, and the slender neck was covered with the metallic patterned feathers. The long feathers behind its tail formed a semicircle, and its phoenix eyes were particularly eye-catching. The tail feathers behind it moved slightly. The roaring thunder instantly shattered the flames. Chen Wei's eyes flashed, and the specific information of this pet beast came into view. Pet beast name, Wind and Thunder Mist Sparrow. Pet beast attributes, Thunder, Wind. Racial level, Transcendent Commander. Strength level, Juvenile level 10. Not bad, not yet at the first level. Looking at the elegant and bright Wind and Thunder Mist Sparrow in front of him, Chen Wei couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Yutong's life source fire plus his current physical strength can completely fight against a juvenile commander level pet beast. As long as he pays attention to vigilance, this juvenile level 10 Wind and Thunder Mist Sparrow can't threaten him. Chapter 113, Defeat a Strong Enemy. Teleport. Chen Wei's eyes narrowed. Keiling suddenly appeared behind the thunder swallowtail, and her huge tail with frost embers slapped it. A huge force suddenly erupted from the contact point, and then a sonic boom sounded in the air. Bang! The thunder swallowtail's body hit the ground like a meteor. Are you making a feint to the east and attacking in the west? Guzulin looked normal. Purple-red thunder continued to flow out of the thunder swallowtail's body. The injuries just caused by Keiling had recovered, but there were still a few wisps of silver-white frost on its wings. Is this the 6th level skill Frost Ember? Guzulin frowned slightly, and her face turned pale. It's not a king-level pet, but it has learned a 6th level skill. Is this the talent of a pure-blooded dragon? Although the healing effect of the immortal thunder is very good, it consumes a lot of source power. With her current source power, she can use it for treatment at most 3 times. On the other side, looking at the brand new thunder swallowtail in front of her, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with a trace of solemnity and confusion. If a general 3rd level beast had endured Keiling's full strength attack, most of them would have been dead by now. It is obviously a relatively weak butterfly pet, but why is this angry thunder swallowtail so weak? It seems that a big one is coming. Frostfall Ice Tornado, Chen Wei ordered. Keiling raised his head high. With a domineering dragon roar, the ice sculpture ground made of polar ice was completely shattered and directly turned into a silver-white ice dragon, rising up. The ice dragon was surrounded by a silver-white frost ember. The sky and the earth seemed to change color, and the amazing ice source energy formed huge wind whirlpools covered with silver frost at a speed visible to the naked eye. It's outrageous. Looking at the earth-shaking ice tornado in front of her, Guzulin showed a trace of surprise on her face. If Xiaodi was hit by this skill, she would probably lose her combat ability directly, and she would not even have the chance to use the immortal thunder to recover. Judgment Thunder? Guzulin conveyed in his mind. In the face of the absolute source energy gap, everything is nothing. Judgment Thunder, a 5th level electric skill. It can summon the Eye of Thunder to lock onto the target, causing continuous lightning damage in a large area in a very short time. It can launch hundreds of thunder strikes in 1 second. The next second, Guzulin's face turned pale in an instant, and almost all the source power in her body turned into immortal thunder to amplify the power of the thunder swallowtail. Boom! The sky suddenly became pitch black, and a thunder flashed. A majestic shadow of thunder eyes suddenly appeared behind the thunder swallowtail, and the pupils in the eyes showed a light purple-red color. Chen Wei just glanced at it with his peripheral vision, and he felt a sense of trembling with fear, and he even couldn't help swallowing his throat. Boom! The amazing electric source energy instantly gathered in the dark clouds, and exaggerated arcs of electricity burst out from the clouds. In an instant, the sky was dark, thunder flashed, the earth collapsed, and ice rolled. Between the thunder and the ice tornado, the terrifying energy collided with each other, like a meteorite hitting the earth. The mushroom cloud suddenly rose up, and the dazzling light made Chen Wei subconsciously block it with his arms. The strong airflow shock wave swept everything around. The ice tornado that originally covered the sky and the sun suddenly broke apart, and countless pieces of ice flew around, making waves of breaking wind. At this moment, a painful dragon roar sounded. Chen Wei's eyes condensed. He was very familiar with this voice. It was the cry of Kailing, who endured the pain. A large amount of dark red flames surged out of his hands to protect him in front of him, and his eyes were fixed on the smoke and dust in the distance. The dust dissipated, and the Kailing, which was more than 20 meters long before, instantly returned to its original form. Electric currents permeated its blue body, and thunder exploded from time to time. "I'm fine," Kailing's weak voice sounded in Chen Wei's mind. Hearing this, Chen Wei's face was full of worry. This doesn't look like nothing happened at all. Thinking of this, he swept his eyes in the direction of the angry thunder butterfly. On the ground covered with broken ice, a dark blue angry thunder swallowtail butterfly was lying. At this time, its body trembled slightly, as if it wanted to continue fighting. Unfortunately, the frost and cold air on its wings continued to erode its source power and vitality. It eventually fell into coma. Finally Chen Wei showed a hint of excitement on his face. The gap of a whole major level, Kailing did not disappoint him. "Did you lose?" Guzulin, who was standing in the distance, felt weak all over. The rosy and delicate face before had turned pale, and the feeling of weakness kept coming from the source star in her mind. She couldn't help but feel weak under her feet, her eyes went black, and her body was about to fall to the ground. At this moment, the wind and thunder rosy bird that had been guarding Guzulin supported her with its wings. "Tisk, I overestimated this little butterfly. It seems that I am stronger." Kailing endured the pain in her body, raised her head high, and said proudly. Then she used the size Ruai to reduce her body size to 1 meter, and moved her body, directly coiling her body around her Beastmaster's arm. "Thank you for your hard work." Chen Wei gently stroked Kailing's head. "Disperse the frost embers on its body. If it continues to erode like this angry thunder swallowtail butterfly will be useless." At this point, Chen Wei placed his hand on Kailing's injured part, and the dragon-controlling power in his body poured out. Kailing immediately squinted her eyes comfortably. With a thud, the silver-white frost cyclone wrapped around the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly dissipated in the wind. "Come and drink some healing potion." Chen Wei then took out a cup of special spiritual liquid that had been diluted many times from the star ring. Kailing opened her mouth, and the spiritual liquid in the cup turned into a thin line and flowed into her mouth under the control of telekinesis. "It's time to deal with this person next." Chen Wei turned his head and looked at Guzulin, who was dozens of meters away, with a hint of expectation on his face. This person is the highlight. Niao, looking at the gradually approaching enemy, Fangli Izak blocked his body in front of Guzulin, his eyes full of vigilance. With an ugly cry, Chen Wei frowned. He didn't expect that the beautiful wind and thunder sparrow would have such an ugly cry. Such a beautiful sparrow, but it's a pity that it has a mouth. He couldn't help shaking his head. "It's okay, Xiaoxia," Guzulin suddenly said, her tone a little weak. This beast control competition was broadcast live, and she didn't believe that Chen Wei would dare to do anything to hurt her. "Hand over the magic cores and beast control resources you obtained in the secret realm. I only want half," Chen Wei said coldly. "Treat him the way he treats you. His request is very simple, just half of the resources." Gu Zulin stared at the handsome boy in front of her, and then suddenly smiled. With her pale and haggard face, she actually had a strange charm of Zizi holding her heart. Of course, but I have to wait until I recover some source power. Chen Wei raised his eyebrows. This guy is not trying to play tricks, right? He doesn't fall for the beauty trap. Chapter 114 ranked first. If you delay any further, your wrathful swallowtail may be left with injuries that are difficult to heal, Chen Wei reminded. If he hadn't asked Kai Ling to cancel the frostfall embers in advance, the unconscious swallowtail in the distance would have been gone. Gu Zulin's face condensed slightly, and then the star ring between her fingers flashed slightly, and 2 bottles of third-level healing potions produced by the Nandao Chamber of Commerce appeared in her hands. Help me treat my pet, this is your reward. Gu Zulin took off the exquisite high-level star ring on her finger, placed it on her palm, and handed it to Chen Wei together with a healing potion. Is this the attitude of asking someone to do something? Chen Wei was a little speechless. He took the star ring and the healing potion casually, and then glanced at Gu Zulin, and corrected, this is not a reward, but the price you need to pay for your defeat. Hearing this, Gu Zulin frowned, and her pale face was full of dissatisfaction. She looked down at the healing potion in her hand, and then drank it all. Chen Wei ignored it. He looked at the high-level star ring in his hand, with a satisfied smile on his face. Gu Zulin was able to hand the star ring to him, which in itself meant a kind of sincerity. Unfortunately, the high-level star rings that recognized the master were extremely safe. Unless the host cancelled a contract, ordinary people could not take out the items contained in it. Otherwise, he could take out the beast resources inside. Let's treat the pet first. Chen Wei shook his head, walked to the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly on the side, and put its straw-like slender mouth into the third-level healing potion. After drinking the potion, Gu Zulin's pale and weak face gradually became ruddy. Can you tell me your name? Her eyes were fixed on Chen Wei. The young man who suddenly appeared in front of him was very powerful. Could it be that he was a dragon rider attracted by the qualification to enter the heritage ruins? Chen Wei, Shushan City. Seeing that the swallowtail butterfly was in a better state, Chen Wei cast his eyes on Gu Zulin. Shushan City. Gu Zulin was slightly startled, and her eyes flickered. Shushan City is a very remote third-level city in Hunyang Province. The beast control force is relatively weak, and even the king-level beast control masters are few and far between. Stop talking nonsense and take out the beast control resources you obtained in the secret realm, Chen Wei said coldly. I don't know if Gu Zulin has taken back the Longyang grass, a 4th-level beast control resource that can slightly purify the dragon bloodline in the body of an alien beast and increase the strength of a dragon-type pet. As a rare dragon-type beast control resource, its value can even be compared to a 5th-level beast control resource. If Kai Ling takes Longyang grass, she may be able to break through to the 2nd-level middle position and increase her strength. Bring the star ring here. Gu Zulin nodded slightly. Chen Wei stretched out his palm in front of Gu Zulin, and in his palm was a high-level star ring. You can't touch it with your own hands, you can only extract it with your mental power. Gu Zulin was silent for a while, and said softly, barring precautions. The next second, the star ring on Chen Wei's palm flashed. A large number of rare beast-controlling resources appeared between him and Gu Zulin. This is Longyang grass. On the top of a large number of spiritual plants, Chen Wei saw the rare spiritual medicine that was winding like a dragon at a glance. This is the magic core and resources I obtained in the secret realm. You can take as much as you want, even if it's all. At this point, Gu Zulin turned her head to look at the sunset low in the sky, seeming a little lonely. In that case, I won't be polite. Chen Wei showed a little surprise on his face, and then the star ring moved, and all the magic cores and herbs in front of him were put into the star ring. Can you give the star ring back to me? Gu Zulin reminded. Even though the secret realm resources that she had worked hard to collect were plundered by Chen Wei, her face remained calm. Chen Wei, of course. After taking the star ring, Gu Zulin walked towards the direction of the angry thunder swallowtail butterfly without looking back. Chen Wei, I will remember you. Next time we meet, I will definitely beat you. A resolute voice suddenly sounded. Looking at Gu Zulin's disappearing figure, Chen Wei smiled helplessly. In the viewing hall, Chen Wei's points soared from 45,000 to 85,300, and his ranking jumped to first. Gu Zulin's points dropped from 51,300 to 11,000, and her ranking fell out of the top 5. Damn, this kid is so strong. Guan Henry's pupils shrank, and then he forcibly suppressed his inner dissatisfaction and depression. Tisk, you've won for so many years, and it's time for you to win once. He glanced at Meng Boan beside him, and his tone was somewhat relaxed, as if he didn't care at all. It was just luck, Meng Boan smiled. Damn it, seeing this, Guan Henry's anger suddenly rose in his heart. What a wonderful battle, Tang Bailan said with a smile. Defeating the third level with the second level, you are worthy of being a dragon with a unique advantage. A city president with a scar on his face couldn't help but sigh. At the top of the lava mountain, a hidden cave. Chen Wei took out a dragon-shaped grass with a thought. Do you want to try to break through? Can I? Kailing asked worriedly. She rubbed Chen Wei's arm with her head, and her majestic eyes revealed some concern. It's okay. Chen Wei gently stroked Kailing with his hand and said with a smile, if you can successfully break through, maybe you can bring my source star to the third level. Kailing nodded, her figure floated to the ground, and then opened her mouth to swallow the dragon-shaped herb in the hand of her own beastmaster. As soon as the dragon-shaped grass entered her stomach, it turned into full energy and wandered in Kailing's body, making her feel tingling all over, as if there were ants crawling on her body. Kailing closed her eyes, resisted the tingling sensation in her body, and concentrated on absorbing and refining the pure source power that continued to surge in her body. Chen Wei, who was guarding on the side, flashed a trace of surprise in his eyes. The bright dragon scales on Kailing's body began to tremble slightly, and the color of the scales changed from the initial bright blue to a variety of colorful and exotic colors. Under this dazzling light, an extremely obvious domineering dragon power suddenly emerged, and the momentum of Kailing gradually increased. Boom boom boom. Chen Wei could even faintly hear the sound of Kailing's strong heartbeat during this process. As the heart beat faster and faster, the color of the light on Kailing's body became stronger. She could vaguely feel a burning sensation that penetrated deep into her blood, spreading from her body and even spreading to all parts of her body. A painful dragon roar sounded, and Kailing's 10-meter-long winding body began to tremble violently. The momentum that erupted in her body also reached its peak, and she was only one step away from promotion. Longyang grass is indeed a rare spiritual plant comparable to level 5 resources. It actually contains such pure dragon source energy. No wonder it has a powerful effect in purifying blood. I hope Kailing can hold on. Chen Wei looked at the shining sacred body in front of him, a trace of worry flashed in his eyes. Chapter 115 Successful Promotion. A high-pitched dragon roar sounded. The majestic storm of source power began to sweep across the entire cave, raising waves of air and smoke, and a brilliant light of advancement suddenly bloomed. In front of the strong light of advancement, the colorful light on Kailing's body suddenly disappeared, and then her body grew and expanded rapidly until her body length reached 15 meters before she stabilized. The surging source power wrapped around Kailing's huge body, and the domineering dragon might that rushed to the sky burst out like a mountain torrent. At the moment when Kailing's strength broke through from the lower level of the second order to the middle level, Chen Wei's face showed a touch of excitement. Through the power feedback of the beast control contract, he could clearly feel that the size of the source star in his mind was rapidly increasing, and the source power filled in it was rapidly transforming, and it seemed that breaking through to the third level source star was only a stone's throw away. Boom! Chen Wei only felt that the sky barrier that had been tightly binding him collapsed. At this moment, the size of the source star in his mind had rapidly grown to the size of a quail egg, and the dazzling orange light was constantly pouring out from the inside of the source star. Feeling the changes in himself, Chen Wei couldn't help but grin. At the age of 18, he broke through to the third level of awakens. Even if he looked at the whole country, he was one of the best cultivation geniuses. After being intoxicated for a while, Chen Wei, who came back to his senses from the excitement, looked at Kailing. Is it not over yet? A trace of surprise flashed in Chen Wei's eyes. The main effect of Longyang grass is to improve blood, and secondly to enhance strength. Kailing's successful promotion means that she has almost absorbed the spiritual medicine. Why hasn't the dazzling promotion light dissipated yet? After a few seconds, Kailing, who was floating in the air, opened her eyes. The white bead hidden in her body shrank a whole circle at some point. The next second, her breath suddenly rose, and the terrifying pressure continued to erupt. Looking at Kailing, whose strength continued to soar, Chen Wei showed a little surprise on his face. Is Kailing planning to break through to the upper level of the second level at one time? After a while, The dazzling evolution light finally dissipated, and Kei Ling's powerful posture after promotion appeared in front of Chen Wei. Her sharp dragon horns, which were originally crystallized, suddenly became darker, and the color of the dragon horns changed from crystal clear crystals to dark golden metallic luster. Even the color of the pupils of her eyes changed from bright blue to sharp pale gold. Chen Wei just glanced at it, and a sharp and piercing pain came to him. In addition, there were several strange golden lines on the edges of Kei Ling's limbs, which added a bit of mystery and unity to her. How does it feel? Chen Wei looked up at Kei Ling, whose figure was hovering in the air. Very comfortable. It seems that there is an extra skill. Kei Ling blinked and said uncertainly. Hearing this, Chen Wei's eyes lit up and he activated the identification talent without hesitation. Ice Sealed Absolute Domain, a 6th level ice skill. This skill can create an ice and snow field, which can cause range damage of ice elements and improve the recovery ability of the caster. This is a higher level skill of Polar Ice. Kei Ling, who is already good at large-scale ice attacks, has greatly enhanced her large-scale offensive capabilities after possessing the skill. Let me see your new skill, Chen Wei said curiously. Kei Ling nodded and flew into the air. Her blue body swayed slightly, and a powerful extreme cold energy emerged instantly. The warm earth turned white in an instant, and even the sky began to fall snowflakes. The seemingly harmless snowflakes contained powerful ice energy. They just fell gently to the ground, and the ice rocks on the ground were instantly frozen into large ice sculptures. Then a blue light flashed, and a terrible and heart-pounding power emerged. All the ice sculptures touched by the snowflakes were shattered, setting off waves of ice storms. Seeing this, Kei Ling's eyes showed a hint of excitement. After using this ice skill, she felt as if she had endless power in her body. Even the source power consumed by releasing the frozen absolute domain just now was restored to 1/5 in just a few dozen seconds. Very good skills, Chen Wei nodded slightly. Although he now prefers ice skills with extremely high single target damage, this range-based top-level output skill is also good. Especially since he only has one pet contracted now. As long as the frozen desolate domain is deployed, a large number of enemies can be destroyed in a very short time. Let's go to another place to rest, Chen Wei conveyed his thoughts. The source power fluctuations caused by Kei Ling's previous promotion and the release of skills easily attracted the attention of other contestants. Because of the fierce battle in the afternoon, he just wanted to find a place to rest. Okay, Kei Ling's mind moved, and the silver ripples around her body began to loom. The next second, she and Chen Wei disappeared from the spot. In the western area of the lava mountaintop, beside a river with hot magma flowing on the edge. The flat black ground is almost full of potholes, and the long mountain walls that have experienced wind and rain have also turned into large pieces of gravel. Under the hot magma, the water released by the vortex tortoise began to evaporate, and the misty water mist instantly filled the land. A 10-meter-tall red giant bear was standing upright on its feet, and its huge eyes were full of scarlet and tyranny. Unlike before, its right arm was missing at some point, and its huge and powerful bear paw was shaking slightly on the ground. The steel-like muscles were covered with various scars, and even the thick fiery red hair had disappeared by half. The flames that were originally burning on its body seemed to have become barely visible, and heavy gasps continued to spit out from the ferocious mouth of the lava giant bear. Around it were 4 powerful and rare beasts. It is worthy of being a lava giant bear with thick skin and flesh. Under our siege, it actually held on for a full 20 minutes, Lu Hongxin murmured in a low voice. The 3-headed flame dragon roared, and a light red flame quickly condensed in its mouth, and the scorching flame sprayed towards the giant bear. The beast on the verge of death is the most terrifying. Be careful of its final dying blow, Zhang Hanayan reminded him in his mind. Hearing this, the vortex turtle, which had already launched an attack at the farthest distance, pulled away again without a trace. The next second, a surging stream of blue water poured out of its mouth, turning into a savage water dragon and shooting towards the giant lava bear. Keep your distance and grind it to death slowly. Yang Wei stared at the beast in the distance, and thousands of golden arrows shot out from behind the golden crystal tiger. It's rare that a reckless man like you can use your brain, Zhu Hanhei teased. Yu Wangdilin beside him stared at the ground, and the ground under the giant lava bear's feet suddenly collapsed, and the overwhelming sand waves entangled the giant bear's feet tightly. Boom! After a burst of earthquakes and mountain shaking, the giant lava bear, which was already at the end of its strength, finally fell to the ground helplessly. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116 Energy Gap. Is it solved? Looking at the smoke and dust that lingered in the distance, Zuhanhei's eyes were full of burning fighting spirit. The giant lava bear in front of him was much stronger than the elite beasts he had encountered before. Damn humans! A trace of determination flashed in the scarlet eyes of the giant lava bear. Even if it died, it would drag these humans with it. Landslide. Magma eruption. The next second, the fierce heat instantly erupted from the center of the smoke and dust. This sudden hot breath made the 4 people who participated in the siege subconsciously hold their breath. Rumble. The earth began to shake and crack, and the mountains began to roar. The already bumpy black ground suddenly collapsed, raising a large amount of sand and dust. The boiling red magma gushed out from the ground, swallowing up everything it encountered. The huge rumbling sound resounded through the sky, and dense red lava was ejected into the sky and then rushed down, leaving thousands of red scratches in the sky filled with black smoke. In the face of this earth-shaking, volcanic eruption, everything seemed bleak. No way! Zhang Hanain's eyes flashed with horror, and cold sweat could not help but flow down his temples. This 4th-level lava giant bear could actually detonate the local high temperature of the lava mountain range, thus setting off a volcanic eruption. Run, Lu Hongxin reminded loudly. As soon as the voice fell, the 3 flame dragons under him sped up and fled the land at a low altitude like a wind and lightning. Are you kidding? In the face of such a disaster, all beast control resources are empty. The other 3 also rode on their own pets and began to flee. This little flame is pretty good. At an altitude of tens of thousands of meters above the top of the lava mountain, there was a giant flame dragon with an endless body. At this time, its eyes opened slightly, and the terrifying black and red flames burned fiercely on its scales. Even the space around its body could not withstand such extreme high temperatures, and even space distortion occurred. It's okay, no need to attack. After sensing for a moment, a low dragon roar sounded. The huge eyes of this majestic dragon that had just opened suddenly closed again. Dari Mei Long, epic overlord real dragon, also one of the main pets of Wu Wei's, the president of Yangling City. In this increasingly difficult beast control competition, its task is very simple, just to ensure the safety of the contestants. A small hill in the eastern range of the lava mountain top. What is this? Chen Wei, who was having dinner with Kai Ling, suddenly felt a violent vibration from a distance. He quickly turned over and rode on Kai Ling and flew to a high altitude to check the situation. What an amazing scene! Although it was just a glimpse from afar, the terrifying scene of the volcanic eruption still shocked Chen Wei's heart. At this time, he was like an ant in front of the natural disaster. That was a volcanic eruption caused by the battle of the alien beasts. Kai Ling beside him reminded her. She had noticed the violent source power fluctuations in the west of the mountain range a long time ago. If it weren't for her own beastmaster wanting to take a break, she would have even wanted to join in the fun and beat up the kid. Sensing Kai Ling's inner thoughts, Chen Wei's face showed a hint of expectation. Beat up the kid? Do you have the confidence to defeat the 4th-level elite beast now? Tomorrow is the last day of the competition. If he wants to snatch the beast resources in the secret realm, he would rather compete with the top elite beasts in the secret realm than those beast geniuses with extremely strong family power. This is more challenging. Hearing this, Kai Ling's light golden eyes turned, and she really couldn't answer this question for a while. Take FIFA as an example, Chen Wei reminded. Although his identification talent can check Kai Ling's strength information, in the ever-changing battle, the victory or defeat between beasts is not limited to that simple data. In the case of a small gap in strength, even the normal source energy value detected by the source energy glasses can only be used as a reference for strength. Kai Ling pondered for a moment, and finally said helplessly, "It's probably still impossible to beat that fox. The 4-tailed red fox is not an ordinary elite beast. This rare fox beast even has a slight chance of evolving into the legendary 9-tailed celestial fox. Although her strength has skyrocketed several times after the promotion, it is difficult to defeat the 4-tailed red fox of the lower 4th level with the strength of the upper 2nd level. On the contrary, even if the number of the little butterflies she fought before increases to 2, she is now confident of winning." Chen Wei nodded thoughtfully. "Yes, low-level battles are okay. The higher the level of the pet, the more difficult it is to fight across levels, and it even increases geometrically. Especially in battles above the 6th level king level, there is basically no cross-level battle. Although the 6th level king and the 7th level overlord are only one level apart, the normal source energy value represented by the two is like the difference between heaven and earth. Even a king-level beast master who has mastered the coordination of bonds and can increase the energy of pet beasts by several times or even dozens of times cannot be the opponent of the 7th level overlord. Rest early today, we still have to trouble the 4th level beasts tomorrow. Chen Wei gently stroked Kai Ling's head. Since Kai Ling's strength has skyrocketed, his original plan must be changed. The space-based skill of teleportation is very effective in obtaining beast resources. He can first look for the other 4 elite beasts on the top of the lava mountain. Maybe there is no need to fight. Kai Ling, who has the ability of space teleportation, can instantly take away the high-level beast resources they are guarding. Thinking of this, Chen Wei turned his head and looked at the terrifying volcano covered with black smoke in the distance, with a thoughtful look in his eyes. Just now, the only 5 top elites left on the top of the lava mountain have been reduced by 1. It's a close call. I almost triggered the Kongming stone bracelet, Zhang Hanayan said breathlessly. Crystal clear sweat was flowing down her delicate face, wetting her t-shirt and highlighting her graceful figure. The Uzumaki turtle was not good at long-distance raids, and she was almost melted by the overwhelming magma. Damn, it was all in vain. Zhu Hanhei's voice was a bit depressed and disappointed. He didn't expect that the lava giant bear's counterattack before death would be so decisive. Now, let alone getting the magic core from the lava giant bear. Even the beast controller resources it guarded were swallowed up by the magma sweeping the earth. Yang Wei glanced at Zhu Hanhei beside him. It's good enough that you can escape successfully, and you are still thinking about those beast control resources. It seems that you have encountered some setbacks, a clear female voice suddenly sounded. The 4 people with dusty faces immediately looked at the source of the voice. Lu Hongxin's eyes lit up, and there was a hint of admiration in his eyes. Zulan, where have you been these 2 days? Chapter 117 Good luck. It has nothing to do with you, Gu Zulan said. Zhang Hanayan on the side couldn't help but smile. Gu Zulan is here, shall we continue to hunt the top elites later? Zhu Hanhei asked. He didn't want to care about the love-hate relationship between Lu Hongxin and Gu Zulan. The 4th level magic core was his goal. I have checked the 5 top elites on the top of the lava mountain. They are all fire-type beasts, Lu Hongxin reminded. Hearing this, everyone's face showed a solemn look. If the next fire-type beasts all exploded like the lava giant bear, causing the mountain to erupt with magma, their fragile bodies would not be able to withstand it. In that case, I will withdraw, Zhang Hanayan suddenly said. If it weren't for the magic core on the 4th level beast, she wouldn't have to cooperate with the contestants from Yangling City. What's more, now there is one more Gu Zulan. It doesn't matter whether she is in the team or not, and the hope of obtaining the 4th level magic core is slim, so she immediately backed out. Although she and Yang Wei have a good relationship, they belong to different cities after all, and their competition is bad. In this way, compared with the distant 4th level elite beast, the other contestants present may be more dangerous. Let's not talk about the 4th level beast for now, Gu Zulan said. She glanced around and said with some expectation, tomorrow is the last day of the competition, and we should decide the first place. Zhu Hanhei was excited. Interesting, is this your declaration of war? You can think so, Gu Zulan nodded slightly. The disastrous defeat this afternoon awakened her proud and confident self. She could accept losing to Lu Hongxin, but she couldn't accept losing to an unknown Chen Wei. She had always been the only one who defeated the enemy by crossing levels, but in the end, she was defeated by a peer whose pet was only 2nd level. The shame of this disastrous defeat left a deep impression on Gu Zulan. Let's start now, Yang Wei said excitedly, and he was a little impatient now. Hearing this, Zhang Hanayan's expression froze. The so-called sending a sheep into the tiger's mouth, wouldn't it be me now? She couldn't beat any of the 4 beast masters present. It's over. Now the beast resources she had worked so hard to collect can no longer be kept. The duel will officially begin tomorrow. The hunting range is at the top of the lava mountain. If you are afraid of fighting, you can hide, Gu Zulan said softly. She wanted to defeat all the opponents in front of her with the force of thunder and gain enough growth. Only in this way, she would be qualified to find Chen Wei to avenge her previous shame. Can we not fight? A hint of helplessness appeared on Lu Hongxin's face. He really didn't want to fight with Gu Zulin. If he won, he felt sorry for Zulin, and if he lost, he felt sorry for his pet. If you don't want to fight, you can hide like a coward. At this point, Gu Zulin's mouth curled up with a charming smile. By the way, I met a very interesting beastmaster in the secret realm. Maybe he is more suitable for the title of sleeping dragon than you. Who is it? Lu Hongxin's eyes condensed, and his tone was a little puzzled. He basically knew all the famous new beastmasters in Hanyang province, and he didn't believe that others could bear his title of sleeping dragon. Defeat me, and I'll tell you. After leaving this sentence, Gu Zulin turned around and rode away on the Thunder Swallowtail. She wanted to prepare for tomorrow's hunting battle in advance. Seeing this, Zhang Hanayan took the opportunity to sneak away. She didn't want to get involved in the competition of these monsters. I'll let you know who is the real crouching dragon. Looking at the direction of Gu Zulin's departure, Lu Hongxin clenched his fists tightly. See you tomorrow. Yang Wei patted Lu Hongxin on the shoulder, then turned around and left with Zhu Hanhei. Before tomorrow's feast officially began, he had to teach Zhu Hanhei a lesson. The next morning, in the middle of the lava mountain top, a 6-meter-long, muscular blue giant bull was lying on the ground to rest. Next to its body, on a stone platform made of volcanic rocks, there was a red bead that was completely red. Even though it was far away, Chen Wei could vaguely feel the amazing heat emanating from the bead. Chen Wei stared at the fiery red bead in the distance, and a glimmer flashed in his eyes, and the identification skill was activated. Red Flame Essence, a 4th-level fire resource. The essence condensed from a large number of red flame crystals, which contains a great deal of fire source power. It can be used as the main material for the evolution of fire pets. Direct consumption can increase the strength of fire pets below level 3 by 1 level. If it can be used as the material for Yutong's future evolution, the effect will definitely be very good. Chen Wei showed a hint of surprise on his face. The red flame essence in front of him is rarer than the red flame crystals he prepared before. If Yutong can devour and refine it when evolving, it will not only greatly accelerate Yutong's growth, but the life source fire contained in its body will also be much stronger than other fire crystal puppets. Kei Ling, are you confident? Chen Wei looked down at the slender dragon on his neck. Simple. Kei Ling raised her head proudly. Next, it's up to you to perform. Chen Wei smiled slightly. Kei Ling's eyes lit up slightly, and imperceptible silver ripples appeared above the stone platform. The next second, a red bead instantly appeared in front of Chen Wei. Well done. A hint of surprise flashed in Chen Wei's eyes, and then he quickly put the bead in front of him into the star ring. The Bianqing Niu, who was lying on the ground to rest, noticed something was wrong. I saw its nose move slightly, and then its eyes suddenly opened. Where is my baby? Looking at the empty stone platform in front of him, the Bianqing Niu was slightly startled, and the huge bull head shook vigorously, as if it couldn't believe it. Moo! The angry bull roared through the sky. Then, a Bianqing Niu with bloodshot eyes and a fierce momentum appeared in Chen Wei's sight. Discovered, Chen Wei's expression changed slightly. The big guy's reaction speed was so fast. Looking at the raging giant bull running as fast as lightning in front of him, there was no panic on his face. Teleport, Chen Wei ordered with his mind. The next second, the figures of Chen Wei and Kei Ling disappeared from the spot, leaving only an angry and irritable blue bull. This skill of teleportation is really useful. Chen Wei couldn't help licking his lips, his dark eyes full of joy. This magical skill of being able to fight and run is most suitable for a steady beast tamer like him. However, joy can only bring sorrow. Kei Ling suddenly reminded. Be careful. Chen Wei was slightly startled, and saw a familiar white-blue lightning energy beam coming towards him at a high speed from the left side of his body. On the other side, dense golden arrows shot from the air with unstoppable momentum. Obviously, Chen Wei is now at the intersection of these two fierce attack skills. It's outrageous. What kind of luck is this? Chen Wei cursed in his heart. Chapter 118 Strength Gap. Looking at the beam of light and the golden arrow coming in front of her, Kei Ling's eyes flashed with disdain, obviously not taking the attacking skills seriously. She moved her body slightly, and a surge of ice source power burst out instantly, condensing an extremely solid ring-shaped frost barrier at an extremely fast speed. Boom! Before Chen Wei had time to think more, the sudden thunder and sharp gold suddenly exploded in front of him, raising a huge cloud of smoke and dust. Fortunately, the frost ring released by Kei Ling was unbreakable, and even the terrifying heat wave that burst out when the energy collided was isolated. Today's luck is really touching. Chen Wei's mouth twitched, feeling a little speechless. The originally leisurely resource collection journey suddenly turned into a thrilling game of luck. It seems that in the future, when teleporting over long distances, a safe aiming point needs to be prepared in advance. However, compared with the speechless expression of her own Beastmaster, Kayling's expression seemed a little angry. If it weren't for her recent successful promotion and the surge in strength, these two inexplicable attack skills would definitely hurt Chen Wei. Thinking of this, a fierce light flashed in her pale golden majestic pupils, and the biting cold frosty air spread around her. The terrifying aura like the abyss suddenly shocked the four directions. Are you angry? Chen Wei looked up at the Kayling in the sky, whose body was so huge that it covered the sky and the sun. A trace of surprise flashed across his face. Suddenly, Kayling's angry voice came to his mind. I will teach them a lesson, okay? Chen Wei looked at the angry Kayling and smiled. Hearing this, Kayling slowly closed her eyes and used her telekinesis to sense the positions of the other two beasts on the field. Frostfall, ice tornado, endless cold air began to gather. Why is he here? Guzulin looked at the powerful dragon that suddenly appeared in the thick fog in the distance, and was slightly stunned. Her body took 2 steps back as if she had been electrocuted, and a trace of horror flashed in her eyes. It had only been a day since they last met, and how could the aura of the dragon in front of her soar several times, even giving her a feeling of being unmatched? How can I catch up with him? Guzulin's heart sank, and her thoughts were a little confused. What is this? On the other side, Yang Wei's eyes widened, looking at the mysterious dragon looming in the mist, and he said uncertainly, pure-blooded dragon. Perhaps it was a little abrupt. After a moment of trance, a burst of ecstasy surged from Yang Wei's heart. If he could subdue the dragon in the distance, wouldn't he take off directly? Thinking of this, Yang Wei's heart beat rapidly, his eyes stared straight at the dragon in the distance, and even the ongoing competition ranking was thrown behind his mind. At this time, an extremely terrifying cold air surged out, and the ground under Chen Wei's feet turned into a bright blue hue. The thick smoke around suddenly cleared, and the gravel and smoke that were floating on the ground instantly turned into motionless blue ice crystals, and the dense and fine ice was suspended in the air through invisible telekinesis. The next second, with Kayling's roar, the ice sculptures made of the ground and smoke turned into powder. A silver-blue cold ice dragon descended, and the roaring frost storm instantly expanded into force, sweeping in all directions. In an instant, the angry thunder butterfly and the golden crystal tiger, who were just fighting, turned into thick ice sculptures without any resistance. Crack! The next second, fine cracks began to appear on the surface of the 2 huge ice sculptures standing on the ground. However, with the emergence of the silver-white special frost, the large number of cracks that continued to appear gradually healed. Only 2 beautiful animal-shaped ice sculptures with panicked faces and unable to move were left. This is a one-shot kill. Chen Wei showed a trace of surprise on his face. As expected of Kayling, she killed the top commanders of the lower 3rd level in 1 second with the strength of the upper 2nd level, and there were 2 of them. Weak and boring opponent, Cap. Sensing the surprise in the Beastmaster's heart, Kayling raised her head proudly. Patting Kayling, who looked proud, Chen Wei couldn't help but smile, and then walked towards the strong young man in front. Seeing this, Kayling's huge body suddenly shrank, and her slender tail flicked lightly, and her petite figure jumped directly onto Chen Wei's neck. Damn, this dragon is actually someone else's pet. Looking at the strange figure that appeared beside the dragon in the distance, Yang Wei was slightly stunned. The great ambition that appeared in his mind before disappeared in an instant, leaving only a belly full of disappointment and loss. The pure-blooded dragon that he finally met turned out to be a pet of an owner. This feeling of disappointment and loneliness even made him ignore the reality that he had just been killed instantly. But Guzulin on the side was different. She frowned and looked at Chen Wei with an increasingly cold gaze. The harsh words she said before leaving came to her mind like a joke. She couldn't help but clench her fists, and veins appeared on her white hands. This is the power of pure-blooded dragons. Sensing the cold gaze from Guzulin, Chen Wei frowned slightly, but he didn't intend to pay attention. Compared with Guzulin, whose beast control resources were emptied, he cared more about the strange young man in front of him. Golden Crystal Sky Tiger. Yang Wei, one of the 4 heroes of Yangling, Chen Wei asked curiously. This is a rare big fish, and he must have a lot of points. Yes, may I ask who you are? Yang Wei looked at the handsome boy in front of him quietly, his eyes hesitant. Which city trained this monster Beastmaster? A new dragon master who can contract a dragon should not be unknown in Hanyang province. He was very sure that the goal of the young man in front of him was definitely the qualification of Leng Yunayang's inheritance relic. Looking at Yang Wei, who had a wonderful expression in front of him, Chen Wei smiled and said directly, "As the price of defeat, hand over the beast resources you collected in the secret realm. I only want half." Yang Wei looked at Chen Wei deeply and did not continue to ask. As long as the game is over, he will naturally be able to obtain information about the young man in front of him. Then the star ring on his finger flashed slightly, and the beast resources piled up into a small mountain appeared on the ground. "The resources are given to you. Can you help the golden crystal sky tiger break the ice?" Seeing Yang Wei's cooperation, Chen Wei immediately coughed lightly and turned his head to look at the lifelike large ice sculpture in the distance. Kailing nodded knowingly and retracted the extremely cold frost. Crackling, after losing the blessing of the frost embers, ordinary ice alone certainly could not restrain the two commander-level third-level beasts. The golden crystal sky tiger and the thunder phoenix butterfly quickly broke out of the thick ice sculpture. "You are getting stronger and stronger." Gu Zulin, who came forward, stared at Chen Wei with her eyes fixed. "Do you know each other?" Hearing this, Yang Wei was slightly stunned. His eyes moved back and forth between Chen Wei and Gu Zulin. His face looked a little strange. Next chapter later. Chapter 119, Phantom Starstone. Something is wrong. It was supposed to be a team hunt, but why did a dragon master suddenly appear to interrupt his ranking match with Gu Zulin? Could he be the person Gu Zulin mentioned yesterday, the dragon master who is more suitable for the title of Crouching Dragon than Lu Hongxin? After knowing each other for so many years, this is the first time he has seen Gu Zulin care so much about a dragon master. Thinking of this, Yang Wei couldn't help but feel sorry for Lu Hongxin's infatuation. Good guy, after all, childhood sweethearts can't beat the one who came from heaven. "What are you thinking about?" Gu Zulin said coldly. Looking at Yang Wei's ambiguous expression, she felt inexplicably unhappy. No. Yang Wei smiled and shook his head, and asked curiously, "Can you introduce this person?" Gu Zulin said, "Shushan Chen Wei. I only know this much." "Where's Shushan? When did this city appear in Hanyang province?" Yang Wei scratched his head and thought to himself. Chen Wei ignored their conversation. His attention was now focused on the beast resources on the ground. Fire crystal, red chrysanthemum, condensed flame grass, there are even 7 heart fire leaves in it. A hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. 7 heart fire leaves. When refining fire and wood elixirs, it can increase the success rate of elixirs by 30%. It is only effective for elixirs below level 5 and belongs to the 4th level fire and wood dual element beast resources. Good stuff. Chen Wei didn't think twice and directly put the beast resources in front of him into the star ring. In this way, his points should be ranked first temporarily. I don't know what the reward for the first place in the beast control competition is. It won't be just the qualification to enter the heritage ruins, Chen Wei thought thoughtfully. He took out his mobile phone to check the time. There are still 20 hours before the end of the competition. It's just right to continue to plunder the resources in the secret realm. It's time to set off, Chen Wei conveyed his thoughts. The time in the secret realm is so precious that he has no interest in chatting. All the beast control resources here have been taken. Maybe there are even rarer resources hidden in other places. Kailing nodded slightly. A faint silver ripple emerged, and the figures of the two of them disappeared instantly. In the afternoon, the sun was high in the sky. The blazing heat baked the land. Chen Wei rode Kailing to search the areas in the north and south of the lava mountain top. Unfortunately, he went there late. The beast control resources around the 2 4th-level elite beasts had been taken away by other contestants, so Chen Wei made a wasted trip. Fortunately, he and Kailing also collected a lot of rare resources on the way, but none of these resources were above level 3. During this period, Chen Wei also met several new beast control masters with good strength. After seeing the mysterious dragon with a terrifying aura under Chen Wei, these beast control masters had very complicated expressions on their faces and chose to retreat. Seeing this, Chen Wei lost interest in snatching. Every candidate who can come to the top of the lava mountain is not a good person. Compared with the plundering behavior that is easy to offend people, he wants to experience the fun of treasure hunting in the secret realm. Rare beast control resources have appeared deep underground. Kailing's surprised voice suddenly appeared in Chen Wei's mind. He asked hurriedly, "What beast control resources, Yi?" Oh, Space resources. Kayling opened her eyes excitedly and let out a high-pitched dragon roar. Hearing this, Chen Wei was slightly stunned and immediately looked at Kayling under him. Good guy. What kind of resources can make Kayling so excited? He hasn't heard Kayling make such a familiar sound for a long time. Feeling the charming spatial fluctuations, Kayling couldn't wait to use instant movement directly. The next second, they came to Red World, where there seemed to be no living creatures. At this time, dark red magma slowly flowed under Chen Wei's feet, and the boiling hot air that was enough to steam the creatures instantly was rising from the ground. Kayling quickly moved her mind, and a round blue barrier enveloped her beast control master. The discomfort that had just appeared on Chen Wei's face dissipated immediately. Noticing that the scorching heat disappeared, he couldn't help but exhale gently, and then took out a towel from the star ring to wipe the large amount of sweat flowing from his body. The temperature here is really amazing. With his current physical condition, he couldn't even hold on for a few seconds. I'm sorry, Kayling's eyes showed worry. She almost forgot that this was a lava zone, and Chen Wei's physical strength could hardly withstand the high temperature here. It's okay, your reaction is fast enough. Chen Wei touched Kayling's head, and then carefully looked around. In addition to the boiling magma, there were some dark rocks in the red, and it seemed that there were no space resources. Kayling, where are the resources you sensed? Chen Wei carefully scanned the surroundings. Compared with the rare space resources, this place seemed to be more suitable for the birth of fire beast resources. It's far ahead, and the space source force fluctuations there are obvious. Chen Wei nodded slightly. Yes, places with large space fluctuations are not suitable for teleportation. Kayling acted much more cautiously this time. She carried Chen Wei and carefully shuttled through this underground red world, and from time to time she dodged and moved to avoid the lava gushing out around her. In this world full of magma and high temperature, their blue barrier light is particularly bright. As time passed, the speed of Kayling's flight began to gradually decrease until it finally stagnated. Kayling, it's here. Hearing this, Chen Wei immediately perked up and looked around curiously. I saw a transparent vortex with slight silver-white ripples emitting from the magma river not far ahead, slowly fluctuating. In the constantly fluctuating transparent vortex, there was a strange stone the size of a little finger, made of pure silver, flowing up and down with the ripples, occasionally emitting a faint glow. Looking at the pure silver stone in front of him, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with surprise. There seemed to be a strange energy hidden in the stone. He was just looking at it from a distance, and he couldn't help but have a desire to swallow it. This kind of beast resource that is so attractive to beast masters is the first time he has seen it. Chen Wei narrowed his eyes slightly, a glimmer of light flashed, and he activated his identification talent, Phantom Starstone, a spiritual object of heaven and earth bred in a secret realm. After being consumed by a beastmaster, it can continuously nourish one's own source star, thereby greatly improving the source star's strength and mental power. It is an extremely rare 4th-level space-based resource. It's actually a Phantom Starstone. Chen Wei's face showed a touch of joy. In Donghua, Beastmaster resources that can improve source star or mental power are much more expensive than other general attribute resources, and even priceless. Although this Phantom Starstone is only a 4th-level resource, it actually has the dual function of improving source star's strength and mental power. Such a rare source star resource, the value alone may be comparable to the general 6th-level king resources. Chapter 120 Lava Lobster. Deep underground, everything was quiet, only the hot magma was boiling and exploding. Unfortunately, this fantasy starstone has not yet been conceived. Chen Wei looked at the pure silver stone not far away, and a trace of regret flashed in his eyes. The constantly undulating fantasy starstone was slowly absorbing the space energy emitted by the surrounding ripples, and its own volume was gradually increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. It seems that it will take a little time for it to be completely formed. Chen Wei pondered for a moment, ready to wait here for the fantasy starstone to be completely conceived. I hope everything goes well. If it fails to condense until the end of the game, Chen Wei will have to collect it in advance. Although this will reduce the effect of the fantasy starstone by several points, there is no other way. It seems that something is moving in the magma, Kayling suddenly reminded. Hearing this, Chen Wei was slightly startled. In this red world where no grass grows, is it possible that there are unknown beasts living? Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, several streams of hot magma suddenly burst out from the underground lava undercurrent. Kayling moved slightly, dodging the oncoming attacks calmly. Chen Wei looked towards the source of the attacks. Under his gaze, two giant creatures with red bodies and three black lines on their heads slowly emerged from the magma. My goodness, there are still living things in this lava world. They are about 3 meters long, covered with hard, fiery red shells, and even the hot magma cannot leave scars on them. There are two long and thin whiskers on the ferocious cone-shaped heads, and a pair of purple-red eyes as big as light bulbs are full of cruelty. Under their thick and thorny bodies are 3 pairs of strong and slender legs. When the legs swim, large pieces of hot magma will slowly flow down the thorns on their legs. Among them, the most eye-catching is the pair of huge blood-colored claws on its chest, which are 2 meters in size and flashing with sharp light. From the appearance, these two strange red beasts are very similar to lobsters. At first glance, they look a bit like cooked giant lobsters. Chen Wei couldn't help swallowing his throat. Just watching from a distance, tears flowed from the corners of his mouth involuntarily. Name of pet, lava lobster. Pet attribute, fire, earth. Racial level, high level extraordinary. Strength level, level 3 upper. Racial skills, lava body, magma spray, explosive flaming pincers. After the identification, Chen Wei subconsciously licked his lips. It looks delicious. There must be a lot of fresh and tender shrimp meat hidden under the pair of huge red claws. Just as Chen Wei stared at the lava lobster with his eyes and felt his appetite was opened, the latter's ferocious eyes condensed slightly, as if he was angry. The next second, a sharp and piercing sizzling sound came out of their mouths, and the fan-shaped tail swung violently, and the body shot out directly from the magma river. Looking at the fresh ingredients that were delivered to his door in a hurry, Chen Wei's eyes lit up slightly. Cold breath. Hearing this, Kayling instantly condensed a ball of extremely cold blue light from her mouth and sprayed out. The cold and icy light just swept past like lightning, and the two lava lobsters rushing towards Chen Wei were frozen into beautiful ice sculptures in an instant. The lava lobsters that were frozen in the ice did not give up. Their strong and powerful bodies began to struggle violently. The hot magma began to surge on them. For a while, a lot of mist rose up. Just go for the head, Chen Wei conveyed his thoughts. Kayling nodded slightly, and a silver-white ice blade emitting a sharp light appeared in front of her. Then, with a flash of silver light, the ice blade fiercely chopped the two ice sculptures in front of her. With a blessing of the frost embers, the cold ice blade easily separated the heads of the ice sculptures. The lava lobsters that were struggling hard before suddenly lost their vitality, and an astonishing chill instantly surged out. Kayling's mind moved, and 2 fiery red magic cores flew from the ice sculpture to Chen Wei. Chen Wei casually put the magic core into the star ring. Compared with the inedible magic core, the hungry Chen Wei cared more about the fresh meal in front of him. Fresh sashimi or healthy barbecue. Chen Wei touched his chin and fell into deep thought. 1 sashimi and 1 barbecue. Kayling couldn't help but come forward. Okay, I'll listen to you. Chen Wei smiled, and then began to cook the fresh ingredients in front of him. Anyway, he was free, so he made a big meal to reward himself. It happened that there were still a lot of kitchen utensils and seasonings stored in the star ring. 15 minutes later, 2 plates of delicious dishes appeared in front of Chen Wei. On the left plate, there were crystal-clear shrimps on the white and clear ice crystals. Around the shrimps were pieces of purple sour fruit that Chen Wei had sliced, exuding an attractive fragrance. As for the right side, after being sautéed with butter and red tongue leaves, a special oil sauce with some spices added is evenly spread on the shrimp meat. Inside the red lobster shell is the white and tender shrimp meat with distinct color and fragrance. Kayling looked at the hot lobster feast in front of her and couldn't help but lick it with her tender red tongue. It's ready to eat. Looking at the delicious food in front of him, Chen Wei nodded with satisfaction. Even in the lava world emitting billowing hot steam, his cooking skills have not regressed at all. Come, taste my new dish. Hearing this, Kayling carefully stretched out her claws to take the shrimp meat, looked at it curiously, and then threw it into her mouth and chewed it. Chen Wei, who was standing aside, looked at Kayling curiously, wanting to know her feedback as soon as possible. Kayling was slightly stunned, and then her eyes lit up. Delicious. Better than grilled fish. Looking at Kayling, who was full of praise in front of him, Chen Wei showed a satisfied smile on his face. If it tastes good, eat more. This kind of fresh food is rare in the outside world. At this point, Chen Wei couldn't help but pick up a piece of white and tender shrimp meat and put it in his mouth. Wow, this lobster meat is so juicy. It's worthy of being a third-level extraordinary beast. After feasting on it, Chen Wei exhaled comfortably. It seems that I have to prepare more lava shrimp meat for Bai Luo and Yu Tong. Anyway, he still needs to wait for the Void Star Stone to be bred, so he can hunt lava lobsters here. This kind of delicacy cannot be missed. Even if he accidentally catches a few more, Kailing's biting cold can keep the lava shrimp meat fresh for a long time. Let me catch it, Kailing nodded excitedly. Although she is an ice-type pet, she even wants to go down and take a few laps when she thinks of the lava lobsters that may live under the lava river. Chen Wei turned his head and glanced at the silver stone not far away. His tone was a little relaxed. We don't have to go down. With a Void Star Stone as bait, maybe more lava lobsters will be caught. Chapter 121, Shadow of the Divine Dragon. This Void Star Stone not only has a strong attraction for beastmasters, but also has a great temptation for strange beasts. Chen Wei and Kailing only need to wait here quietly, and the violent vibration of the source power will attract nearby strange beasts. Two more this time. Kailing looked at the lobsters exposed on the lava river, and her big eyes flashed with surprise. The two lobsters she caught before only made her feel half full, and now there are two more. The feeling of having the food automatically delivered to your door is really wonderful. Time passed slowly, and more lobsters were caught, and the smile on Chen Wei's face became more intense. Not to mention the chewy taste of the lava lobster, the third-level magic core on it alone can earn thousands of points. Frost-falling cold breath, looking at the 5 lava lobsters that were solved by Kailing in front of him, Chen Wei frowned slightly. The situation is getting more and more wrong. It seems that as the Void Star Stone grows, the range of the source power fluctuation will become wider, and the number of strange beasts attracted will also increase. 5 can be dealt with this time. But if 10 lava lobsters appear next time, Chen Wei may have to run away with a Void Star Stone. Fortunately, the Void Star Stone has been almost bred, and it is estimated that it only takes a few minutes to wait. Just as Chen Wei was thinking, a large amount of magma suddenly burst out from the calm magma river below. In this flying magma rain, a giant lobster with a body length of nearly 8 meters suddenly rushed towards the Void Star Stone in the sky. Chen Wei's pupils shrank slightly. Looking for death, this lava lobster actually wanted to take the Void Star Stone in front of him. Stop it, Kailing instantly moved to the path that the lava lobster must pass. She leaned forward, the slender and agile tail muscles behind her were tightly tensed, and then slapped the lobster's carapace fiercely. Boom, the lava lobster paused, and then the body smashed into the magma river at a faster speed, setting off a lava fireworks that covered the sky. Zzzz. This unusually large lava lobster used its blood-red claws to cut through the magma, emitting a series of sharp and angry cries. Chen Wei stared at the mighty giant in front of him, a glimmer in his eyes, and activated the identification skill. Name of pet, Red Rock Lobster. Pet attribute, Fire, Earth. Racial level, Top Elite. Strength level, Lower level 4. Racial skills, Red Rock Strangling. Lava Body, Lava Jet. Explosive Flame Pincers. Oh my goodness. Didn't the beast control competition say that there were only 5 level 4 top elites? How come there is another one in this lava world? This organizer is too unreliable, Chen Wei couldn't help but complain. At this moment, the great sun dragon, which was entrenched in the sky, slowly opened its eyes, and then exclaimed softly. This little guy is so lucky that he can even meet the newly advanced red rock lobster. Then it scratched its head with its thick claws. Do you want to intervene? This red rock lobster that happened to advance is not within the scope of the competition. After pondering for a while, the great sun dragon finally chose to watch silently. Although the difficulty is extremely high, the boy who makes it feel particularly pleasing to the eye may be able to defeat the red rock lobster. Are you sure? Looking at the ferocious giant lobster in the distance, Chen Wei's heart sank. The lava world deep underground is not friendly to ice pets. Coupled with a gap in strength and attribute disadvantages, this battle is expected to be difficult. You can try, Kailing said confidently. The sense of oppression emanating from this red rock lobster is not half as strong as that of the four-tailed red fox. If it weren't for the harsh environment now, she would even have some confidence in winning the battle. Pay attention to protecting the Void Starstone, Chen Wei reminded. Their goal is not to defeat the red rock lobster in front of them. The breeding of the Void Starstone is at a critical moment, and delaying until the Starstone is successfully bred is their ultimate goal. The hot-tempered red rock lobster didn't care about that. Seeing that the strange creature in front of it was blocking it, its huge claws intertwined. In an instant, the temperature of the lava world rose sharply, and dozens of lava fire pillars burst out directly from the magma river. Frostfall cold breath, a high-spirited dragon roar sounded, and the endless cold air surrounding K-Ling's body surged instantly. The cold breath brewing in its mouth turned into a silver-blue columnar breath, roaring towards the lava fire pillar. Boom boom boom. The cold breath collided violently with the lava fire pillar, making a series of piercing roars and explosions. The sharp cold breath first froze the lava it touched, and then was melted by the hot fire pillar. The two consumed each other's energy, and smoky steam continued to pour out. For a time, the dead underground world was filled with high-temperature heat everywhere. After a moment of stalemate, the lava fire pillar that occupied the geographical advantage finally won. Several surging lava fire pillars swept past a breath, and shot towards K-Ling with great momentum. Swish! K-Ling dodged all the fire pillars while dodging. One of the fire pillars that she narrowly avoided actually ignited the corner of Chen Wei's clothes on the right side. K-Ling moved her mind, and the clothes of her beastmaster that had just caught fire suddenly went out in the next second before they spread. Hold on for a while, the star stone will soon be bred. Regardless of the clothes on his body, Chen Wei glanced at the illusory star stone behind him. The silver light flowing on its surface became more and more dazzling, and the attraction it exuded became more and more terrifying. Just a simple glance at it, he felt like his soul was sucked in. Don't worry, I can do it, K-Ling said in her mind. Rather than delaying time, she wanted to kill the huge lobster in front of her. The meat of the third-level lobster alone was so delicious, she didn't want to miss this fourth-level red rock lobster at all. Can I? I can finish it in just 1 second. K-Ling stared at the red rock lobster with a serious look and full of fighting spirit. Chen Wei was slightly stunned when he heard this. Are you planning to use the dragon essence in your body? Yes, after your source star advances, it shouldn't be a problem to keep it activated for 1 second, K-Ling nodded seriously. She would not let her beastmaster get hurt for the sake of food. Okay, Chen Wei smiled. He also wanted to know how much K-Ling's combat power would soar after stimulating the dragon essence in her body. The next second, K-Ling narrowed her eyes slightly, and the white round beads hidden in her body suddenly burst into shining light. In an instant, K-Ling's aura began to surge rapidly, and her strength, which was originally at the upper level of the second level, actually rushed to the third level. Under her earth-shaking dragon power, even the red lava world began to become dim. At this time, K-Ling raised her head high, and behind her, a terrifying dragon phantom with an endless body and a breath that was enough to cover the sky and the sun slowly appeared. Chapter 122 The competition ends. This extremely terrifying dragon shadow actually contained an ancient and mysterious aura of great pressure. The next second, K-Ling's slightly narrowed eyes opened. One after another, mysterious silver-white runes quietly appeared on her body, and then quickly linked and shone, exuding a domineering aura. Chen Wei was a little surprised. Even as K-Ling's beastmaster, he could feel a heart-pounding true dragon will. You know, K-Ling is just a dragon now, but she can actually emit such a compelling true dragon pressure in an instant. The red rock lobster widened its eyes and shifted its gaze from the empty fantasy star stone to K-Ling. A breath of death came to its face. The earth-shaking and domineering dragon power made it unable to move, and even ignored the strong temptation from the empty fantasy star stone. Zizzy, the sharp cry of the red rock lobster seemed to carry a bit of panic and submission. Ignoring the red rock lobster's pleading, K-Ling instantly turned into a sharp cold light in Chen Wei's eyes. When Chen Wei came back to his senses, the light and pressure emanating from K-Ling had disappeared. The only difference was that the huge body of the red rock lobster was motionless in the air, and there was suddenly a bright red magic core on K-Ling's dark blue claws. So strong, even the fourth-level alien beast was killed in seconds. Chen Wei's face was full of joy. Generally speaking, with the powerful strength of the top elites, even if they are defeated by the same level, they can rely on their strong physical fitness to support for a long time. After activating the Dragon Yuan, K-Ling's short burst of tyrannical strength completely exceeded Chen Wei's expectations. Are you okay? Chen Wei asked with concern. K-Ling's round of terrifying outbreak directly scared him, fearing that there would be any sequelae. Just rest for a while, K-Ling couldn't help shaking a few times. Although she felt a strong soreness and fatigue all over her body, K-Ling was particularly excited at this time. Now she can defeat the top elites, and in 2 days she may be able to defeat the Jiaoran commander. Sooner or later, she will be caught up with a king level by Luo. At that time, hehe. Looking at Kai Ling who is grinning beside him, Chen Wei's expression became strange. It seems that everything is fine. Defeating the commander in 2 days, Kai Ling, you really dare to think. Even if it is involution, it doesn't have to be so involution. After being intoxicated for a while, Kai Ling put away the smile on her face and glanced at the giant lobster that was 8 meters high behind her. This is a magic core, and there is shrimp meat. Chen Wei took the magic core handed over by Kai Ling curiously. In addition to his father's legacy, this is the first time he has seen a 4th level magic core. The magic core of the red rock lobster in front of him is a rare cultivation resource for a pet with fire attributes. It's a pity that the energy contained in it is too majestic and violent. With Yutong's current strength, it is completely unable to absorb it. Perhaps it can be used as a resource for Yutong's future evolution. Putting the magic core in his hand into the star ring, Chen Wei turned his eyes to the giant lobster beside him. This huge body should be enough for him and Kai Ling to eat for a few days. Suddenly, a powerful spatial energy fluctuation broke out from not far away. The Void Star Stone has finally been bred. A hint of surprise flashed in Chen Wei's eyes. What a strange dragon. At this time, the Great Sun Dragon, which was hovering in the sky, was a little surprised. It actually felt a real dragon breath that made dragons fear on Kai Ling's body. Although the breath was extremely weak, as a real dragon, it could clearly sense the terrifying dragon power hidden in the faint breath. Is it the ancient bloodline of the legendary real dragon hidden in its body, or is it using beast control resources above the legendary emperor? The Great Sun Dragon let out a dragon roar with interest. In its opinion, it may not be long before a fresh blood will be added to the few real dragon races in Donghu. Putting the Void Star Stone in front of him into the star ring, Chen Wei showed a satisfied smile on his face. The 4th level magic core plus the Void Star Stone, these two alone can get a huge amount of points, and the ranking of this beast control competition can be said to be no suspense. Kai Ling, you've worked hard today. Chen Wei gently stroked the petite Kai Ling on his neck. Is there any reward you want? Yi, I want dragon crystals. Kai Ling rubbed Chen Wei's chin with her little head, and her big watery eyes showed a light of expectation. She has been craving for those dragon-luring dragon crystals that she swallowed when she evolved before. Since taking by Luo's special spiritual liquid, the strengthening time of the dragon power of his own beast master has been greatly improved, and maybe he can make a few more dragon crystals. No problem, I'll make it for you when I get home. Chen Wei smiled and responded. In order to quickly improve the potential and strength of his pet beasts and drive the breakthrough of his own source star, his dragon controlling power is consumed on the 3 pets every day, and there is no extra time to strengthen high-level dragon crystals. As a result, there are only 3 intermediate dragon crystals that have been strengthened for a long time in his star ring. After 2 failed advancements, Chen Wei originally planned to change his mind and strengthen the intermediate dragon crystals to advanced dragon crystals before letting Kai Ling take them. Maybe there is a chance for Kai Ling to successfully advance, and then the beast control contract will give feedback and drive his source star to break through. Unexpectedly, he was so lucky that he got the rare Longyang grass in the secret realm. In this way, those long-prepared intermediate dragon crystals can just reward Kai Ling, and maybe even let her awaken unknown dragon skills. There are still more than 10 minutes left before the end of the competition. Chen Wei took out his mobile phone and checked the time. The competition time passed so quickly, and this rare secret realm journey is about to end. It's a pity that this beast control competition only lasts for 3 days. He still wants to explore more areas and find some beast control resources suitable for Bai Luo and Kai Ling. As for Yutong, among the rare beast control resources he has found so far, fire resources alone account for half. So there is no need to worry about Yutong's future resource consumption. At the same time, in the sky above the top of the lava mountain, a green flying dragon was flying rapidly, as if searching for something. Damn, where is that strange dragon control master? He won't hide. Lu Hongxin's eyes flashed with anger. Ever since defeating Gu Zulin, who is full of worries, his mood has become very bad. More suitable to be called Sleeping Dragon? What a joke. Especially the mysterious dragon mentioned by Gu Zulin, which made him even more excited. Lu Hongxin now only wants to find the rare dragon master to compete with him. Please note that this beast taming competition will end in 30 seconds. Contestants, Please prepare in advance, a mechanical female voice suddenly sounded. Too late, Lu Hongxin looked up at the sky. 3, 2, 1, the game is over. As soon as the mechanical prompt sounded, the calming stone bracelet in Lu Hongxin's hand instantly burst into dazzling purple light, leaving only his last murmur. Chen Wei? You can't escape. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123 Cold Territory Star Essence. The wide square in front of the secret realm. On the mysterious and obscure 5-pointed teleportation array, the figures of 100 new Beastmasters suddenly appeared. The originally quiet square suddenly became noisy, and the crowd gathered around it occasionally heard a noise. What a pity, we almost defeated that second-level alien beast, said a handsome boy. Wrong Huangmeo, you really need to form a team even to deal with a second-level alien beast, a surprised female voice sounded. Why? Wasn't your initial pet also first level? Sorry, I'm different from you. My pet just advanced in the secret realm. Chen Wei stood there, listening to the conversations around him, with a lot of emotion in his heart. Unknowingly, he has opened up a huge gap with the Beastmasters of the same class. Yu Zilmin, how many points did you get in this competition? Meng Haoj walked over. Too few first-level alien beasts were killed, and I guess I only got more than 2,000 points. At this point, Yu Zilmin showed a trace of helplessness on her face. I should be the last one in this competition. Meng Haoj nodded in agreement. My points are even less than yours. I can't find many beast-controlling resources in the secret realm. The total is only more than 1,800 points. It seems that this year is the last one again. Meng Haoj sighed and looked at Chen Wei. Chen Wei, how about you? How did you get? Not bad, a full load. Chen Wei coughed lightly. He didn't expect that Meng Haoj and Yu Zilmin would get so few points. The points added up by the two of them were not even a fraction of his. How many points? Yu Zilmin asked curiously. I didn't count them carefully, but it should be 200,000. Yu Zilmin subconsciously covered her red lips with her hands, her bright eyes widened. Very cute. Although she has always been optimistic about Chen Wei, this sudden and explosive news still surprised her. Could it be that Shushan City's ranking in the competition will soar to the first place this year? 200,000 points? What on earth did you do in the secret realm? Meng Haoj's face was full of shock. He worked himself to death, but only got more than 1,000 points in 3 days, while Chen Wei got 200,000 points directly. This 100-fold difference in points is too outrageous. Meng Haoj's exclamation instantly attracted the attention of many Beastmasters around him, triggering a round of discussion. What was he just talking about? 200,000 points. Do you know this Beastmaster? No, he is not among the popular contestants in this beast competition, a guy who is just trying to attract attention. The highest score in the last session was only more than 100,000, it's really outrageous. For 200,000 points, you have to kill hundreds of third-level alien beasts alone, hundreds of heads in 3 days? Even queuing to kill pigs is not that fast, let alone powerful third-level alien beasts. Meng Haoj adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses awkwardly. He was not embarrassed by the discussion around him, but because he was embarrassed by his own control ability. What a pervert, Yu Zilmin sighed softly. She had no doubt about the huge points Chen Wei mentioned, and even felt a sense of pride in her heart. She had noticed this genius boy in front of her a long time ago. Indeed, Meng Haoj on the side echoed. Hearing this, Chen Wei was slightly startled. Yu Zilmin's words sounded like a compliment, but he always felt weird. He was a serious person and had nothing to do with perversion. Slander, pure slander. At this time, the triumphant President Meng walked over from the hall. Thank you for your hard work. It's exactly 8 o'clock now. Do you want to have morning tea? I'll treat you, Meng Bowen said with a smile. Chen Wei did not disappoint him and directly became the dark horse of this beast control competition. Although the ranking results of the beast control competition will not be officially announced until tomorrow, with the terrifying points Chen Wei obtained in the secret realm, this first place has no suspense. What is this? This is a dazzling political achievement. When he thought of the resource support from the Provincial Beast Control Association next year, he was very pleased. Let's go, I'm hungry, Meng Haoj urged. In the secret realm, Not only must he be alert to unknown beasts that may appear at any time, but he must also guard against the contestants in the secret realm, which makes him exhausted. Now he just wants to have a big meal and learn about Chen Wei's journey to the secret realm. So Chen Wei and them walked and talked, and soon they arrived at the base restaurant. By the way, this is the reward we agreed on before. After dinner, seeing that the atmosphere in the room was a bit dull, President Meng took out 2 exquisite jade boxes from the star ring and placed them in front of Chen Wei. What are these 2? Chen Wei showed a trace of doubt on his face. The reward agreed before was only the dragon scale soft armor, so how come there is an extra jade box now? Could it be the ranking reward issued in advance for this beast control competition? You can open it and take a look, President Meng smiled. Chen Wei did not hesitate and opened the jade box in front of him. A pair of exquisite soft armor with a pale white luster and a red gold gem inlaid on the front of the chest armor came into view. Dragon scale soft armor, a 5th level top source weapon, can withstand the full force of a 5th level leader beast. Ordinary elite beasts cannot break through the defense. President Meng began to talk. It is worthy of being the scales of a real dragon. Even if the dragon scales found in the secret realm of Nanvin Mountain have lost their vitality, they can strengthen the soft armor he carefully made with source gold to the 5th level top. Good stuff. Chen Wei's eyes lit up, and he subconsciously reached out to touch the soft armor in front of him, and it felt cold. It was for this set of dragon scale soft armor that he would participate in this beast control competition, even at the cost of being in the limelight. After being amazed, Chen Wei cast his eyes on another jade box, and then opened it directly, and a bright white round bead appeared instantly. Cold Domain Star Essence, a 6th level ice beast controller resource. After refining, it can increase the probability of ice-type transcendent pets advancing to the king level by 10%, President Meng continued to explain. After hesitating for a moment, Chen Wei pushed the jade box in front of him to President Meng. This is too expensive. This piece of Cold Star Essence is the beast controller resource that I won from a bet with my friend. I didn't spend a penny, so it can be said that it is the resource you won. President Meng pushed the jade box back. At this time, Meng Haoj stared at the Cold Star Essence with his eyes, and the expression on his face was very wonderful. He couldn't help but interrupt and said, "Don't you Zilman and I have any rewards? Is this really a real father? Why don't you leave good things to your own son, but give them away?" "I don't need it," Yu Zilman said softly. Hearing this, President Meng looked at Meng Haoj beside him seriously, and his tone was a little stern. "Do you need me to communicate with you privately about your points in this beast control competition?" Meng Haoj was a little speechless for a moment. Knock, knock, knock. At this moment, a dull knock on the door suddenly came, easing the awkward atmosphere in the room. Chapter 124, Invitation to Fight. Everyone looked towards the door in surprise. Ignoring the knock, Meng Bowen coughed and said solemnly, "You take it first." In front of him, "Why be polite? Can't I see through your mind?" Seeing this, Chen Wei did not choose to continue to refuse, and directly put the treasure in front of him into the star ring. The Cold Star Essence is just a rare ice resource that is extremely suitable for Kaling. Dong dong dong. Seeing that there was no movement in the room, the knock on the door sounded again. "Come in," Meng Bowen said in a deep voice. The door was pushed open, and everyone looked in the direction of the sound. A handsome young man about 1.8 meters tall, with a delicate appearance and a burning fighting spirit walked in. Lu Hongxin. The 4 people present had learned about the information of the 4 heroes of Yangling, and they were naturally familiar with this young man, but they had no intersection at all. Among the contestants this time, the only one who could have a connection with Lu Hongxin was probably Chen Wei beside him. Thinking of this, the 3 of them looked at Chen Wei again, with surprise and curiosity in their eyes, watching the development of the situation quietly. Realizing that he had suddenly become the focus of the scene, Chen Wei was slightly stunned. What's going on? Is he here for revenge? In the secret realm, he had robbed 2 of the 4 heroes of Yangling, so it shouldn't be that Walling would come to his door in person for revenge. "Excuse me, President Meng." After Lu Hongxin greeted politely, his eyes were fixed on Chen Wei. Meng Bowen nodded slightly, and then said, "We are having a dinner party. What do you want to do?" "Sorry, I disturbed your meal. I want to discuss something with Chen Wei." Lu Hongxin smiled embarrassedly. Sure enough, looking at the polite boy in front of him who was full of fighting spirit, Yu Zilman's face became more curious. "Is this going to be a battle?" Unfortunately, Ling's current strength is only at the upper level of the second level, and she is probably not able to beat Lu Hongxin. Thinking of this, the expectation in Yu Zilman's eyes suddenly disappeared. This is probably going to be a one-sided pet battle. Looking at the aggressive Lu Hongxin, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with doubt. Excuse me, what can I do for you? I heard that you are very powerful, and the initial pet of the contract is a dragon. I want to have a battle with you, Lu Hongxin said straight to the point. Dragon? Hearing this, Yu Zilman and Meng Heoj were shocked and even confused. Wasn't Chen Wei's initial pet a cold jade snake? When did it become a dragon? Did Lu Hongxin find the wrong person? Okay, but can you wait until we finish our meal? Chen Wei smiled. He had seen the powerful three-headed flame dragon in the secret realm, and his strength was extraordinary. He also wanted to know whether the second-level colorful spirit was better or the third-level three-headed flame dragon was more powerful. If you want to have a pet battle, there is a special battle venue in the Shuangjian Beast Taming Base, President Meng reminded. With the strength of Chen Wei and Lu Hongxin, it is better to fight in a professional battle venue, which is safer. Then let's meet at the battle arena in half an hour, Chen Wei suggested. Okay, Lu Hongxin nodded, then I won't disturb you from having dinner. Watching Lu Hongxin leave, Meng Heoj was a little silent. A few months ago, he could still fight with Chen Wei for a few moves, but now the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Meng Heoj picked up the wine glass in front of him and drank it all. Tun. He couldn't accept this sudden reality, so he had to drink to relieve his sorrow. Yu Zilman poured a glass of milk for Chen Wei and asked curiously, when did Ling become a dragon? If Lu Hongxin hadn't come to visit suddenly, she didn't know how long she would have kept it a secret. Ling evolved into a dragon in the secret realm of Nanbin Mountain. Chen Wei took the milk and took a sip. Yu Zilman was slightly startled, and then quickly reacted. It was actually 3 months ago. It is said that there are traces of real dragons in the secret realm of Nanbin Mountain. It seems that Chen Wei has had many adventures in it, and even made Ling evolve successfully. I haven't seen a dragon yet. Chen Wei, can you let me see one? Yu Zilman asked with interest. Chen Wei did not refuse. The star ring on his finger flashed slightly, and the pale orange talisman array was fleeting. The figure of Ling appeared in front of him in an instant. Level 3 Source Star, Yu Zilman and Meng Heoj flashed a trace of horror in their eyes, and they didn't even care about the dragon that appeared in front of them. How long has it been? From the time I awakened the Source Star at the age of 16 to now, it has only been more than 3 years. It is well known that to cultivate the Source Star from the first level to the second level, the average Beastmaster must spend at least 3 years of meditation and hard work. Even for a Beastmaster with outstanding talent, it will take at least more than a year. Not to mention the difficulty of breaking through from the second level Source Star to the third level. Although there are many third level Source Star owners in this Beastmaster competition, most of them rely on the juicing pill to break through by force, and the gold content is not high. Of course, Lu Hongxin is an exception. It is said that he has never used pills to improve the Source Star, and he relies on his own talent to break through. What's wrong? Chen Wei asked in confusion, looking at the two people in front of him who were dumbfounded. Although the dragon species is rare and precious, they should not be shocked if they knew it in advance. I drank too much and my head is a little dizzy. Meng Heoj blinked his eyes and said in a daze. Fake wine harms people. He only drank 2 glasses of wine, but he had hallucinations in front of him. Thinking of this, he poured himself a few more glasses, and President Meng frowned. It's okay, Yu Zilman smiled slightly, and then cast her eyes on Ling. Compared with the cute and charming before, the blue dragon in front of her is more elegant and mysterious. Yu Zilman immediately greeted excitedly. Hi, Ling, long time no see. Ling glanced at the beautiful girl in front of her casually, ignored her, and her body instantly hovered around Chen Wei's neck. Say hello. Chen Wei touched Ling's head. Yi, oh cap, oh, hello. Ling raised her head to signal, and then looked at the plump crabs on the table. You can eat some if you want. Chen Wei smiled, picked up a crab from his plate, and handed it to Ling. Do you want me to peel it for you? Ling shook her head and swallowed the food in front of her in one gulp. Crunch, she tasted it directly with the skin and shell. It tastes good. Ling showed some satisfaction on her face. Although this crab is not as good as the lava lobster in the secret realm, it is also a good delicacy. After Ling had a full meal, Chen Wei drank the remaining milk in the cup, and then looked at the girl next to him. I will have a duel with Lu Hongxin later. Do you want to watch the game? Of course, I will definitely not miss such a wonderful battle. Yu Zilman's eyes were expectant. In response, Kei Ling raised her head confidently. Yi, I can definitely win. Chapter 125 The battle begins. The northern area of the Shuangjian beast taming base. In the battle hall. At this time, Lu Hongxin had already been sitting in the battle hall waiting, and beside him were Gu Zulin, Zhu Hanhei and Yang Wei. Their combination attracted the attention of many beastmasters in the hall. Hey, isn't it Lu Hongxin? Is he going to fight someone? It should be. I don't know which young hero can fight against Wallen. It seems to be the Dragon Master who defeated Feng Chu. His name is Chen Wei. No, why do I remember it was Chen Wei? Who cares who he is? There's a big guy fighting. We can learn from it. I heard that it was a battle caused by love and hate. The Beastmasters who were watching suddenly became energetic. Even some Beastmasters who originally planned to fight stopped and discussed in groups of 3 or 2, obviously not wanting to miss a rare duel. After a while, the news spread more and more outrageous. The news that Lu Hongxin avenged his love and fought against a mysterious Beastmaster spread throughout the Shuangjian beast taming base. Listening to the whispers not far away, Lu Hongxin frowned. He originally just wanted to have a private battle, but he didn't expect to attract the attention of so many Beastmasters, which was inconsistent with his original intention. Who is the gossip who spread the news? Don't let me catch him, otherwise. Gu Zulin's voice became colder and colder. Hearing this, Yang Wei's expression became a little stiff. The person Gu Zulin is talking about should not be me. I just said one sentence. Yes, that's right, at most one sentence, Yang Wei thought to himself. After finishing the meal, Chen Wei and his party came to a very large and magnificent battle venue. Walking into this battle venue, looking at the Beastmasters like mountains and seas in the battle hall, Chen Wei's eyes flashed with a trace of doubt. There are so many empty battle platforms in the distance, why are all these Beastmasters gathered in the battle hall? This is too lively. There are hundreds of Beastmasters in the hall alone. Can all the contestants of this beast competition gather here? Chen Wei glanced around, trying to find Lu Hongxin in the crowd. After seeing Chen Wei in the crowd, Lu Hongxin's eyes lit up and he hurried forward. Wherever he passed, the crowd around him quickly parted to make a path. This obvious situation also attracted Chen Wei's attention. Platform number 6, I have already made an appointment, Lu Hongxin stepped forward and said. Chen Wei nodded, then let's get started, so the two walked towards platform number 6 together. Behind them was a group of new Beastmasters with expectant faces. At this moment, Wu Wei's figure suddenly appeared in the battle arena, and the noisy hall suddenly became quiet. Wu Wei's greeted Meng Boan, and then suggested to Chen Wei, you seem to be missing a referee, or I will be a referee for you, trouble you. Chen Wei responded without hesitation. Wu Wei's, the president of Yangling City, is a famous epic beastmaster. Chen Wei has only seen this level of big men on TV. It was rare that the boss was interested, so how could he refuse such a simple request? Seeing that the two were ready, Wu Wei smiled and reminded, since it is a friendly competition, you can summon your pets in advance. I will start a battle directly after I shot start. Lu Hongxin nodded slightly, a trace of determination flashed in his eyes. And the star ring on his finger burst into dazzling orange light. In an instant, a blue figure with an arrogant aura appeared in the orange-yellow talisman array. Roar, with a dragon roar, a terrifying flying dragon with a body length of about 4 meters, 3 ferocious dinosaur heads, covered with blue scales, a pair of wings on the back with a wingspan of 5 meters, and 2 slender tails behind it, one blue and one red, suddenly appeared on the battle stage. Lu Hongxin, this is my initial pet 3-headed flame dragon, with a strength of the 3rd level middle position. Please teach me, Lu Hongxin said. This is not a competition, but a friendly competition agreed by both parties. Self-introduction before the battle is essential. This is also the custom of Beastmasters to fight. Chen Wei nodded, the star ring flashed slightly, the pale orange talisman array was fleeting, and Kei Ling's huge body appeared in front of him in an instant. A domineering dragon roar sounded, and Kei Ling's eyes were fixed on the 3-headed flame dragon in front of him. Is it this little guy? I will win. Sensing Kei Ling's thoughts, Chen Wei was slightly startled. If you really want to calculate the size, the 3-headed flame dragon in front of him is at least 2 years old, while Kei Ling is only 5 months old. However, if you only calculate the size, The 4-meter-long 3-headed flame dragon is indeed a real little guy in front of the 15-meter-long K-Ling. K-Ling, don't be too careless, we have to go all out, Chen Wei conveyed his thoughts. It was his first time to fight against a dragon master, and he was faintly excited. Yi, don't worry, at this moment, K-Ling's eyes were full of fighting spirit. Chen Wei, the initial pet beast Kongming Frost Jiao, the strength is the second level upper position, please teach me, Chen Wei introduced. As soon as the voice fell, the beast masters watching the battle were shocked. The Sky Nether Frost Dragon. It is indeed a pure-blooded dragon. And it is a mysterious dragon that has never been seen before, what a joke. A second-level upper-level dragon against a third-level middle-level dragon, is this guy planning to fight a higher-level dragon? Even if it is a pure-blooded dragon, it is too exaggerated. Generally speaking, if the strength of the pets of both sides is one level different, the Beastmaster with a lower strength is fully qualified to refuse to fight. Not to mention the difference of a whole level. In other words, he defeated Gu Zulin, the famous Phoenix Child, with a second-level upper-level dragon in the Secret Realm. He is still young and energetic. He can defeat the third-level lower-level Thunder Phoenix Butterfly, but it does not mean that he can defeat the third-level middle-level 3-headed Flame Dragon. It's hard to say. Genius is used to break common sense. No way. Where did this monster come from? The Beastmasters watching on the side said it was outrageous. On the platform, the 3-headed flame dragon looked at the domineering dragon in front of it, and the dragon bloodline in its body seemed to be suppressed. A trace of fear and suspicion flashed in its red pupils, and the huge wings spread behind it couldn't help but tremble slightly. It shook its head vigorously, and then a burst of ferocity surged into its eyes, as if it was angry about its own fear. Sensing the hidden fear in his pet, Lu Hongxin's expression changed slightly, and his face became more solemn. He didn't expect that the arrogant flame dragon, who had always been fearless, would actually be afraid one day. The Kongming Frost Flood Dragon in front of him was definitely not an ordinary dragon. If he didn't do his best in this battle, he might be at risk of defeat. It's really interesting, a duel between a pure-blooded dragon and a half-blooded dragon. Wu Wenai's looked at the Kongming Frost Flood Dragon in the distance, and a smile of interest appeared on his face. The battle begins, Wu Wenai shouted in a deep voice. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.